guess do it this way. Just hang out with people this way. Just do it like that. With this, I need to make it a bit lighter. And we'll just go off of it this way. Probably sound may probably end up being better on the other way, but we'll see how that is. Let's see. Like I said, this is just a late night session, just to hang out with people, just to chit chat, see how everybody's doing tonight. We'll be working on stuff, so that way, okay, that one is done. Creating shorts basically while we're doing this, so just to try to get some more time, more live time on here. Been away for a bit, so just gonna do it this way. Like I said, we just keep on adding stuff, keep on making new shorts. Just try to see different hours, different time zones. I know it's Sunday night. A lot of people probably in bed getting ready for work, but I know there's a bunch of veterans out here that are still up and about and awake. So we'll see how that goes. And I think it should be populated. I'm not sure how well it's populated, but it's just basically, so like I said, people got questions, they can ask questions. We can just continue the same conversation we had earlier, just different stuff that people may need information on, and that's mostly it. Let me just save this, so I didn't make that longer. Save that, so the template is saved. So template is saved. Now I just gotta add, where is it? We're doing rating protection, so that's what we're talking about. That's the short that I'm making now, is rating protection. Did I save everything else? I did service connection, I did special monthly compensation, and then I did the federal employment benefits also. I don't think I recorded that one though. I might not have recorded the federal employment benefits one. I have it started, but I still haven't recorded it. So that's one I have to do, because I have basically like a little list of all the shorts I'm gonna make, and I just have them there listed on my board, and I just go down the list as I make the shorts. I create them, then I just record the audio, throw them into the thing, and it just simple ways of doing that. I just need to start making videos off of those shorts so that I can have them relayed and connected to it, so that people see the short, they can click on it and go to the main video and check it out that way. That's the only thing that I know I have been slacking on, and I haven't made enough videos towards. Just basically those connecting factors to basically, like, hey, if we're talking about Chapter 31, which is the Veteran Readiness and Employment. Okay. Oh, question. What's up, Benny? Benny the Barnwell. Is it wise for someone with IU for 70% PTSD static to file for more VA diagnosed disabilities if they never want to sick call in service? Thanks. So my question to you, Benny, is when it comes to those VA diagnosed disabilities, is it stuff that you have documentation for, and that the VA is saying that happened because of you in service? Because you got to remember, not everything. A lot of people deal with the issue where they don't have service connected issues. They don't have them service connected, and they're missing that gateway to connect it. If you have the VA diagnosing you with some of these things, what you can do is you can try to see if the VA provider will write a Nexus letter for you, basically stating that this was diagnosed and this is because of your time in service. Because then it makes it easier for you to file for those claims, because now you have the VA provider, which is also the one checking it, and now the VA will see that when the CMP examiner sees it's the VA rated, your VA professional that wrote a Nexus letter stating, yes, I diagnosed him with this because this is what happened and it's tied to his time in service, then it makes your claim a lot easier. Now, if you don't have the documentation and the stuff connecting it, that's where you run into that problem. That's when it's difficult to, hey, if you never went to sick call, that's fine. Because the thing is not everybody went to sick call, but everybody has issues. You just have to get them diagnosed, documented, and get a Nexus letter stating, yes, this happened because of his time in service, and they connect it that way. If it's the VA diagnosing you with it, if the VA can provide you that Nexus letter, you'll be able to go way farther that way, and it'll be 10 times easier for you to file a claim and get it approved, because now all your records already in with the VA. So if you get any imagery, like x-rays, MRIs, CAT scan, whatever the case may be, or you're going through physical therapy through them, or anything of the sort, if you have that documentation, that's easy to put a claim in. When they ask for that information, all you're doing is requesting your C file or your medical records from the VA, and you just tapping it right on there for the VA claim. So it makes it easier when you have it diagnosed, but as always, you want to have that Nexus letter. Most would have to be secondaries to PTSD, or can I get a Nexus letter? VA doctors won't help. I asked them before. So that's the thing. I've heard that also, that VA doctors don't do that. You can claim if you have. That's the thing. A lot of them you can claim them as secondaries, if they're connecting to it. Interesting info, bro. Appreciate that. If they are connecting, then yes. If your service connection is connected, and like PTSD is one, your secondaries are on top of that. If you have that documentation showing that, then yes, go ahead and file for it. The thing is the VA, sometimes I've heard stories where some VA providers are trying to assist you and they'll write the Nexus letters for you, and some choose not to, which I don't understand why as a medical professional you would be denying somebody when you're diagnosing him with it. The thing is that sometimes they don't feel comfortable doing that, because I guess it's like it's kind of like a conflict of interest for them to write, like, yes, you are diagnosed, I diagnosed you because of this, when they may not be sure if that's what it is. They're just diagnosing with you. That's why a lot of people tend to go to outside private doctors, and they get the stuff diagnosed, and they get a Nexus letter from an outside entity, which will say that, because then it's just an outside source outside of the VA. You see what I'm saying? But with PTSD, like, if it's secondaries, you can claim a bunch of stuff as secondaries. You just have to be diagnosed and show that it is tied to your primary. So you got PTSD, that's already confirmed. You got 70% for that. Now the secondaries is just like, are those actually tied into your PTSD? That's the link you got to make sure that is visualized and shown when you do that. Because if you're being diagnosed by the VA for certain things, you can put them as secondaries, and then you already have diagnosis. But like I said, make sure your documentation is straight. Because the thing is you may apply for it and they might deny it, or you have the proof for it and they might be hesitant to approve it. Because, you know, the VA doesn't straight out just give you that. Evan Outlet, what's up? But that's why in those cases, like, if the VA doctors don't help, if you can get the possibility of talking to somebody as an outside entity, talk to them and get them for a Nexus letter, have them write you a Nexus letter, and do it that way. If the VA is already doing it, you can get a medical professional who's like, look, they diagnosed me with this. I just need a Nexus letter stating that it was because of my time in service. But as secondaries, it's easier to claim it because it's a secondary effect to somebody that's already something service connected. Just make sure you have the documentation for all of that. You got the PTSD, you already got the rating for it. Whatever your secondaries are, they have to be diagnosed by the VA, and you have to have the documentation showing the diagnosis. So let's say you got from PTSD, you developed sleep apnea. You would have to show that, hey, you got the sleep study, you got the documentation, you got the sleep study documentation showing that you had that. Does the VA have a hit loss? Benny, that I would not be able to answer you. That I am not sure. I don't think that they have a hit list. If they could, they might not. That's something I can't really answer because I don't know. I haven't heard of that. But the thing is if a lot of people are using the same doctor, that might look questionable. You see what I'm saying? Like if somebody like everybody like you, if you got a thousand service members and half of them are spread across the country. Like a couple of them are in a couple of the same states, but then most of them are like spread out all over, and you got the same provider. It does look kind of questionable because it's just like, okay, is this guy just being paid to write Nexus letters to just connect stuff? He is a medical doctor, he is a provider, but if you're just getting the same doctor and everybody has the same Nexus letter from the same guy, that starts to look questionable. At least that's my perspective. I don't know if the VA does that. I don't know if they have a list of like, hey, if you see this doctor, like red flag it or something. I don't know that would be an interesting question. That would be something good to know. I'll try to see if I know my friend that's a VA rater. I'll try to ask him. I'll try to ask him that and see what he knows. But it's just like that's the way I'm looking at it. If I'm a CMP examiner and I've had, let's say, 10 service members come in for the CMP exam and all of them got the same Nexus letter from the same guy, it's just like, but they're all spread across the state. It kind of looks questionable. You see what I'm saying? But that's the thing. Remember, there's multiple places you can go to get those letters. It doesn't have to be that because that's the first time I heard that guy's name, Fred Nolan. He might be a popular guy that does it. See, and that's what I'm saying. Depending on the state, because the thing is if everybody's reaching out to that same person, it starts looking weird. But if you have multiple states and stuff like that, you can go to a VSO, and sometimes the VSOs might be helpful and just be like, hey, do you know any providers that are assistant when you've already been diagnosed with something to write a Nexus letter connecting the stuff with diagnosis that I already have and documentation I already have. The thing is just like, just see, there you go. See, this is perfect. Benny, there you go. I hope you're still there and just reading that. See, that's interesting because that's what I'm saying. It's just like if people are using, see, look, that's two different states. So do they have a list? I don't know. But if you got somebody from California that just used them, and then you got somebody from Illinois that used the same provider to write a Nexus letter, that to me is a red flag. That maybe the VA sees it as a red flag. It's just like, hey, y'all using the same guy. This dude is like a mobile professional, medical professional, and he's all over the place. It starts looking kind of questionable. You see what I'm saying? But hey, Scott, have you? So you did it today. So I guess y'all should get link up and chat with each other, something, message each other somehow, and just figure out like, hey, what the outcome is. Because you're saying you just used them. Can they see that though different states? Um, I don't know, but the fact that it's weird to me because it's just like how Benny was saying that he was thinking about it, but he was like, I think he's on a VA hit list, so that's why it's just like I don't know if they can see it, but the thing is just like I said, if you're in different states, it is possible that the VA puts a list out like, hey, keep keep a red flag for these providers' names. They're not going to say that. Remember, the VA isn't going to do the work for you. The VA isn't going to say that, but it is a possibility of that happening. Let me see. No, so that's the thing. The thing is Scott, it's not that he's scamming. Because the thing is there's a bunch of entities and there's even a bunch of other YouTube channels that do that they have a medical professional that can provide them Nexus letters. So I've seen a couple of YouTube channels where it's that they have like their own person that they know that's a medical professional that writes Nexus letters for them. Now, I don't know the information as to are they successful with their claims or what that I don't know. Oh, see, Benny, then I need to know where you're getting your information so I can look into it because I haven't. No, because I know because that's what I'm saying, Scott. There's a bunch of entities that do that they have a um like one of the other channels on here. It's on YouTube. I think it's like one of the biggest, the bigger one, the veteran ones. Combat Craig. If you look into him, Combat Craig. Thank you, Scott. Trying to do the best I can here to assist y'all. No, that's what I'm saying. They're legit doctors. They'll have legit doctors. Like that other channel is Combat Craig. He does a lot of stuff like that, and he has like a things like a Combat Craig team or something like that. And it's like he has a medical provider that assists with Nexus letters. So it's not a scam because the thing is that would if it was a scam, he would lose his medical license. So that's how you know it's not a scam. If he's been doing it for all that, but the thing is just like if you are providing him with the documentation showing him the diagnosis and all that stuff, it's not that difficult for a medical provider to connect those things. Because the thing is if you got that, and that's definitely true. It should not be that hard to get it. The thing is look, a lot of these VA raters don't like they don't see everything, and sometimes the way veterans put the stuff, it's easy to overlook. Like one thing I tell people, when it comes to anything that you're sending to the VA, separate it yourself. Like if you have all your medical records, do not send it to them just as one big ass file. Break the files up in half. Like I tell that, and I've told that to a lot of my friends, like still active duty that are getting out soon. I tell them that take your medical record and let's say, hey, you had a knee injury. Everywhere in that medical record that you see a knee injury, cut those pages out and make it into one document. So when you submit it up to the VA, put knee injury, and it's all those pages on there. And then if you do it that way, when the rater looks for it, it's just like, oh, okay, knee injury. He has a fucking document spread. It's just like, oh, this is every time he had a knee injury, back injury, all that. Because the thing is what I tell people is that a lot of these VA raters, when they're looking up your stuff, they're doing Control F. So another thing is Control F is the way they search. So if you look at any PDF or anything, it's Control F. If you don't have a PDF that's read that the words can actually be picked out, it's just a picture. So you can have a document that has all the information on there. When they Control F, like let's say tinnitus, and that's where you have your tinnitus thing that it explains where it has it. If that's just a picture of like your audiology report, they can't actually search that. So that'll skip over your record. It'll skip over that page on your record, and then the VA rater does not see that part of it because they're not gonna go like some people like me. I had 900 something plus pages on my thing, but I separated everything. 900 pages. Ain't no VA rater got time, and they don't make the time to go through 900 pages and make sure that where I said tinnitus, it is checked out. So there's another guy smoking cigars in swimming pools on rooftops, helping veterans get their claims going. Also, he and Combat Craig are on the same boat. New Life veterans. Um, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. There's a bunch of channels. There is a ton of channels that are trying to do it. I just try to make sure to assist veterans in a way that you are doing it in the correct manner with the VA stuff. I don't give you information as to, oh, you can't do this. You can't. No, it's just like, look, let's look at the Code of Federal Regulations. I'll put it up. Like I usually do my stream on mobile and on PC or on TV so that when you watch it on TV, I will pull up the information. I will pull up the location on the va.gov and I will show you exactly what it is that you need to do. These other channels is just usually they'll just make a video. It's just like, oh, do this to get 100% rating. And it's very broad and it's just like, oh, you can do this, you can do that. But the thing is it's not a one shoe fits all for veterans. Everybody has a different case, everybody has different documentation, everybody has different experiences. Like, hey, look, I had PTSD also. Mine wasn't rated at 70%. Mine was rated at 50%. I got PTSD and that got me to 50%. Two different, same thing, two different things, two different instances. But I have different secondary. I don't really have any secondaries. Most of them were just like primary that I had notated in my file, and that's what allowed it. But those things is different because some are primary stuff, some are secondary stuff, and you can't just tell people do this to do it because a lot of people go ahead and do that and they don't get the correct information they just file without really knowing what they're supposed to file, and that's how you end up backtracking yourself because now you file that claim, your stuff gets denied, and then you're like, why the hell was my shit denied when all my information was there? I was just like, well, if you didn't put it in properly, or you didn't present it properly, or you didn't scan it or separate it, or get the Nexus letter or the buddy statements or whatever the case may be, that hinders your thing. I try to make it to like, hey, you have to show these VA raters, which I know it sucks. It sucks that we have to fight this much as veterans to get it done, but we have to at all costs show them without a doubt this is the issue I'm dealing with. It sucks that we have to do that. It sucks that we have to go through that, but that's what we have to do as veterans filing for disability. We have to make sure that when we file, there is no doubt in anyone's mind that that's the issue you're dealing with. It's basically like saying, like, look, this isn't to even a VA rater. It's like taking your documents and you just hand it to somebody, and somebody should be able to look at it. That random person should be able to look at it and be like, oh, you filing for, okay, back issues. I see you got injured here. You went through physical therapy here. Okay, damn, you even got the imaging and the x-ray and the MRI showing that some of your muscles is out of place. You got discs out of place. Okay, boom, I can see what you're. That's what people need to do when they file it. And a lot of us veterans don't do that because they don't know how to do so. A lot of them is just like they just submit the documentation thinking, oh, this is a piece of cake. I did it already. And it's just like, no, the VA don't do shit for you. The VA, you get, like I was saying earlier in my earlier stream, you can get lucky with some CMP examiners that actually try to help you out and they provide you the documentation and they actually file the claim for you. Like with mine, I had an ankle injury, and when I was describing the pain that I was dealing with and all that stuff, she went ahead and put shin splints on my claim. I didn't do that. I didn't even know she did that till I received my documentation. That's what got me to my 100% P&T because it had been denied before. Yes, I trust me, Jermaine. I know. But the thing is just like it depends on who you deal with because that's the problem. It's like we still in the service. That's what the VA is right now. It's like, look, you can be in this unit right here, and you can have the best time of your fucking life that you swear you're gonna do the 20 years. And then you go across the street, they move you over to the next unit, and you're like, man, fuck this place. I'm getting the fuck up out of here. I'm not doing no 20 years. I'm done with the military and stuff like that. And that's the unfortunate part of the VA. The thing is a lot of us veterans don't associate that. They just think, oh, we're out. We're not dealing with the same shit. We're dealing with the same dumb shit over and over again. It's just now this is the civilian side of dealing with the dumb shit. You can have two different experiences in the same location. Like I said, with the first CMP examiner, he tried to disregard the shit out of me. Like when I went for my PTSD rating, it was a VA CMP. It was a psychologist, and that dude tried to downplay the shit out of my PTSD. And I was just like, I was looking at him, and it was just like, I'm not the type of person to lose my cool. And I think he saw I was getting agitated at the fact, but I didn't lose my cool like to just like try to blow him off. It was like, bro, you trying to say this and I'm trying to explain to you what it is. I was just like, I didn't fucking come up with this diagnosis. I got this through the VA doctor y'all recommended me to, and he diagnosed me with it. So this didn't just come out the fucking blue. This is something that your own doctor did it, but he was trying to downplay it while he was doing the examination. And then towards the end of it, I explained everything and I spoke to him and I told him about the issues and stuff like that. And then he was just like, you know what? I'm gonna put you for PTSD. And then he had the audacity to be like, I don't think anybody has PTSD. I think people deal with depression, but I don't think people actually have PTSD or know what PTSD is because the thing changes, the criteria changes for it. And I'm just looking at this dude, like, are you fucking serious right now? Like, you a VA medical provider, and this is what you're telling me? I was just like, how many other people have gone through you probably and done this stuff? And he says that he was like, I've been doing this for like 20 something plus years. And I'm just like, so you've been screwing people over for 20 plus some fucking years? And he looked at me like, I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna say that because it's just like you telling me this, and it's just like I'm telling you what I've gone through. I've been diagnosed with it, and that's how it is. I only watch you and H Town Vet Best channels helping veterans truthfully. I think I do watch H Town Vet. He's another great channel. And the thing is, I think is like we try to be as honest with veterans and tell you exactly what has to happen. We don't try to like because a lot of these other channels, what it is they just want to catch views. I was like, y'all can see I don't have that many subscribers. I have maybe like what 1,600 subscribers. Because the thing is I don't make those videos. I don't make those videos that is just like to draw you in and then bullshit you about what the issue is. Like I've noticed a lot of these bigger channels just like, oh, the mental health ratings are gonna change. And then today earlier I explained the mental health ratings are gonna change and it's supposed to happen in April of 2025. But I actually showed the two documents where it stated and showed that the possibility of it changing would be in April 2025 from a .gov site. I haven't seen any of those other channels do that, but they've been running that same thing over and over again, talking about, hey, y'all need to like hurry up and file because the shit is about to change. They've been talking about this shit since 2022. And the thing is, it's just like a lot of these channels tend to gaslight veterans, and it's like they try to like scare veterans into like, hey, you need to file, you need to file now, you need to do this, and it's just like, hey, appreciate that, Jeff. But it's just like it's just that's just what it is. A lot of veterans are being gaslit into making claims. And then the thing is just like if I'm telling you like, hey man, you need to hurry up and file your mental health thing because the shit is about to change. I don't tell you when it's about to change. I just keep on throwing that at you and throwing that at you. You're gonna agitate yourself. You're gonna agitate the veteran. The veteran is gonna get more anxiety than he already probably has. And now he's gonna go and file for something where he probably doesn't have the diagnosis, probably doesn't have the documentation, and then he's going to file for it, get it denied, and then he's going to lose his shit even more because of the fact that he knows he has the issue, but it wasn't done the proper way. And that's why I hate doing that with those other channels. And that's why it's always like, hey, I need to teach people how to do it the right way. Because the thing is I learned the hard way. I learned researching and doing all this stuff on my own. And the thing is, it's just like I knew the struggle I went through to get to 100% P&T. So I could only imagine all these other veterans, like the Vietnam vets. I get a bunch of them that come on to the channel, and I get a bunch of people like older generations that are always asking me certain questions and stuff like that. Shit, I even had a person earlier in today's stream that had been 100% P&T for the past, I think he said the past 15 years, and he didn't know about Champ VA, and he didn't know about the DEA, the Dependent Education Assistant benefit that he's entitled to as 100% P&T. So I went in with bilateral flat feet, had to get a waiver, 82nd Airborne, assault, back problems, hot knees, etc. Denial. Teach you how to do it the right. Charmaine, the thing is like, look, if you came in with flat feet, and you had it there, you can claim flat feet and you can claim that that shit made it worse. You can claim it as stuff is aggravated because people got to remember, you can claim stuff that happened in the military and you can claim stuff got aggravated while your time. So you already have documentation showing that you got a waiver for having flat feet. Now, all that rucking, all that plane jumping, air assault, all that stuff, that made your feet worse. And then what you got to see is you got to get that diagnosis that shows like, hey, what is the effect of continuously doing all this stuff with flat feet? You get a provider and he shows, hey, you have flat feet. So flat feet would cause you to have messed up knees, jumping out of fucking planes and landing like that, messed up knees, aerosol, messed up knees, all the running, all the rucking, back issues, all that stuff. You have to get it all thing. The thing is a lot of the times is you didn't probably have the documentation showing it, and that's why it got denied. You probably put it as a claim, but you got to make sure for back problems, if you can go get an MRI, get an X-ray showing that you have degenerative disc disease or you have loss of cartilage in between the thing, that's a claim. Now you can back up that claim. If you have mental health issues, you can go to a medical provider or go to a psychiatrist, go to a counselor, talk to them, have them, and then tell them about the times that you did and the stuff that's influenced you and has changed your life because of your time in the military. Whether it's with the anxiety, not being able to go into certain places without looking around your surroundings, not being able to go into a restaurant without sitting at a farthest corner where you can see every open avenue. Um, just walking into certain places and it's just like it's too many damn people. And you from a big city. That's how I am. I'm from a big city and I can't even really be in big cities anymore without like damn all these fucking people. You just on high alert on everything. Hips, knees. You have to have all that documentation. You have to have x-rays and all that stuff on there in order to help your claim. If you don't have documentation, you literally shooting yourself in the foot. Plain and simple. You need to have all that stuff. If it was denied, go back through your records and start pinpointing all the stuff that happened. Get your medical records, and that's what I told my friends now that they're getting out now. Grab your medical records, make a copy of it, even if it's fucking like 900 fucking pages like mine was. Make a separate copy of it and go line by line and just start highlighting shit. Highlight, highlight, because they're gonna give it to you in a PDF form. So they'll send it to you online and they can print it out. Sometimes they print it out. Most of it now, I've noticed that it's just digitally that they'll send it. Print it out, start highlighting all the stuff, and once you do that, cut, like I was telling them earlier, cut and paste those pages that tell you what it is. So when you had flat fee, separate those documents and put it so that, and just make that a separate PDF. Flat fee issues, back issues, anytime you got seen, anything like that, separate it. Knee issues, same thing. Now, if you didn't go to sick call and you didn't have any documentation within service, you have to go to a medical provider outside and get that diagnosed and get yourself a Nexus letter. Also, what you can do is, I know you still got your buddies from those times that you were jumping out of planes in 82nd and stuff like that. Have them write you a buddy letter, a buddy statement. A buddy statement just basically stating, like, hey, this guy was with me in this time. He jumped out of a couple of planes. There was a couple of times he landed wrong, or whatever the case may be. There was times that he was injured and this, and that. You have to have that buddy that can write you a statement in detail showing where it can paint the picture for somebody that has no idea who you are of the issues you're dealing with. You got back issues. Show them, tell people why does you have back issues. You have to have that stuff. Like if you're getting denied, that's the thing. A lot of veterans are getting denied because a lot of times people are getting out. At least I could only imagine how it was for the older generations. Like now, at least you got fucking cell phones, you got the internet and stuff like that. These Vietnam era people were done fucking dirty. Sorry to say, but the Vietnam era fucking veterans were done fucking dirty because these people didn't get no fucking information. I was just like, before the fucking internet, before social media, before all of that stuff, there was no, like, you couldn't find me online and start asking me questions. These people just went through it. They went to the VA, they got denied, and they were just like, fuck it. Shit, I got one person that I was just talking to yesterday. Now, MCL experience was denied 4 years ago, and I only recently found a follow up for my initial military emergency room visit. In your experience, why would that have been denied? See, so, okay, Jeff, so you had an MCL sprain. What did the documentation look like? Did you submit the copy of that documentation? Because the thing is look, I'll tell you this. Sometimes the shit gets denied, and sometimes you just have to, like, appeal it. I appreciate that, Tremaine. That was just like, sometimes you just got to appeal it. Because, look, this is a story I tell people. Because I tell people my experience so that they can learn from it also. I severely sprained my ankle. I went through physical therapy a year and a half through the military after I severely sprained my ankle. You know what they told me? My shit got denied. I submitted all that shit. I submitted all the physical therapy records showing that. And I was like, hey, my ankle still bothers me till this day. I can move on it sometimes, but sometimes the shit just starts as a sharp pain, and sometimes it feels like it's giving out. And I got denied. I had to do a review and appeal it for that. Then there was another instance where I was running on my hip for who knows how fucking long. I have a tear in my hip, which I still have the tear. I never got it fixed because I don't trust these damn doctors to fix my shit. What I was told I had was I would just had hip injury, and they just left it as a hip injury till I was getting out, and I knew I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna file a disability for that. I need an MRI or I need an X-ray. Come to find out, I had a tear in my labrum. The whole fucking 2 years I was running on it, and in physical therapy for that, and it was denied. So the thing is just like just because it's denied the first time does not mean you give up on it. Because sometimes these people are just like lazy and they just like I said, they sometimes they just skim over stuff and they don't really look too deep into it. And if you go to that CMP exam, which is what a lot of people do, is just like, you know what? Today my ankle don't feel that bad. What's your pain level today? Oh, it's like a 2. The VA rater hears that shit. The CMP examiner hears that shit. It's like, oh shit, that's a 2, man. Ain't nothing wrong with this dude. And you'll see them jot that shit down quick. 2. They won't make no faces. Oh, 2. Okay. And then they won't really ask you more in-depth questions because you're basically saying that it doesn't hurt as bad. But what you got to make sure you're answering is like, hey, it's at a 2 right now, but I'm medicated while I'm talking to you. I'm on muscle relaxers. I'm on pain relievers or whatever the case may be. And that's why it's at a 2. When I'm not on this, my shit is at a 7 and I can't walk. It bothers me to go up the stairs. If I try to just bend down to kneel on one leg, it bothers me when that happens. I can't really push off of it, so I can't really do any kind of exercise or any exertion and stuff like that. And when you explain it to them like that, then that CMP examiner sees like, okay, these are ongoing issues that he keeps going with and dealing with. A lot of veterans, what they do is when they answer that first time, it's just like, this is what I dealt with, and this is what I dealt with. And they just leave it as that day. You need to give them that picture and let them know, like, look, I'm dealing with this constantly. This is a everyday thing where it's just like every day I have issues with my ankle. I have issues walking. I can't run no more. I can't walk for an extended amount of time. That's something that people and veterans need to do better at is when they go to the CMP exam, bring a fucking notebook if you have to. Start writing the shit that actually bothers you with those issues when it comes to your knee, your back, anything of the sort. Write all that stuff down. Start writing it down and make a list of all the shit that you can and cannot do. So when that CMP examiner asks you, just you pull that shit out. It's like, look, I wrote down all the shit that I've had issues with because most of the time I don't even realize it and I just try to muscle through it. But then there's times I have to sit back and relax because I cannot do the regular stuff I was able to when I had a good ankle. And they'll look at you like, okay, this dude know what he's doing. He has his stuff prepared. He came prepared to talk and chat. I was just like, okay, here it is. But you got to have the documentation for it. That's what a lot of people mess up. If you don't got nothing proving it, you don't got no outside diagnosis, no Nexus letter, no nothing, you're gonna get denied every single time, no matter how much pain it is. And that's what I tell people also. The VA don't really care for your pain level. Code of Federal Regulations, Title 38, Chapter 4, Part 1. I'm gonna put the link in this right here. Give me a second. I'm gonna get y'all that link. Because I have it like this is what I do when I'm doing the other when I'm doing the streams, I usually have it. This one I just did it off the phone because I didn't want to do it on the computer. But when I'm doing these streams, I usually do it on my phone and on the screen so that you can see both. That way I can literally show you on real time what's going on. But this is the document that a lot of veterans don't know about, a lot of veterans don't pay attention to. This is what you need to look at. If you are going to file and I mean any disability claim, make sure you are looking this. Blair, no, it doesn't matter how many you file at the same time. Yeah, I filed all my shit. I filed all of them there. And the only thing that I missed out on was my hearing loss, which I forgot to actually put in the first one, and then the denial of my ankle. But I put everything else, and that got me to 100%. I did end up filing for an increase for mental health, because the provider that they sent me to diagnosed me with PTSD, and it was like, bro, you got PTSD. This isn't just depression. This is PTSD. you need to go talk to them and let them know that they put the documentation, they diagnosed me with it, they have my record showing my treatment and all that stuff for it, and it's there. The thing is Blair, the thing is just like a lot of people get lazy when they put all those disability claims together. That's where the issue happens. Because the thing is look, the reason I say, Blair, you should never do it, you should all put them at once, because they go off of your intent to file date. So if you intend to file, like let's say today's, yes, follow through with the paperwork. But if today is July 21st, your stuff stays there. Now, for hearing loss, I have hearing loss in my left ear, which I have the document showing that I have hearing loss. That I had a memo basically stating that my hearing level fell below OSHA level for my MOS. And I just got service connected. I ain't get no fucking rating for it. Like they want you to literally be like damn near tone deaf. Like you can't hear shit. Like I lost hearing. Like when you know you do the little beep thing, I can't hear as well as I did. I was just like, yes, and that's why I say that. It starts the day we file. The day you file, so the day you file all that, that's where it starts. So if you did it, if you filed July 21st, if your shit takes till 2026 to get fixed up with like appeals or high level reviews or whatever, and you end up with 100% at 2026, they're gonna back pay you at 100% from July 21st, 2024. So that's why I say don't separate your claims. Put it all in there and fight for it all off that one thing. Because that first date is the first date they do it off of. Because now, let's say you filed those three now. You filed another three later. Those three later, if that's when you got the 100%, and let's say you filed 7 months ahead of the time, you're going to get it starting 7 months ahead of time instead of getting those 7 months of back pay. So if you were at like, let's say 40%, and you were supposed to be at 100, you missed out on 7 months of 100% like increase of that 60% increase of pay that you're missing out on, which ends up becoming, because you got to realize, like, look, at 90% to like 100%, it's almost like a grand something that's there. So I'm set up to get PT from the VA doc soon. I'll have the daily pain documented. Thanks so much. I'll pop back in soon. I'm glad I stayed up and caught you here. God bless you. Hey, Jeff Davenport, I appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate you tuning in. And best of luck. Like I said, if y'all got any questions, we're here to help. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help y'all find whatever I can and try to show y'all where you have to go. But like I said, check out that Code of Federal Regulations, because that will tell you everything you can claim. There are over 3,000 disability claims you can file for. Over 3,000. Now, do you fit the description for all of them? No. But there's 3,000 of them in there. And it'll tell you what you can do and what you can't do. And sometimes it's just you going to a provider and getting a full workup just to see what's going on with you. And they can tell you, oh, you deal with this. Like some people will forget, you can put irritable bowel syndrome. You can put GERD on there. Those are things on there. You can put erectile dysfunction. Those are things you can add on to your thing that might give you a percentage, might not. But if you do deal with the issue and it's not that bad, you can at least get care for it now. So that's the thing you got to remember that. Let's see. They didn't even service connection for mine, even though it is in my STR. I had to see audiology many times before I got out, but I've heard it's extremely hard to get hearing loss. Hearing loss, no problem, Jeff. Hearing loss is tough because the thing is it like, hold on, let me see. I'm gonna look for it because it has it here. It basically shows you what hearing loss is and what they expect you auditory. So they have it if you go onto the CFR, which I'm gonna put this here. Where can I find that? 1 second. No, that's the eye. Let me see for the ear. But keep in mind that in 2025 that is supposed to also be changed. This right here, impairment of auditory acuity. That's the document right there. You can check that out, look at that, and that'll give you information as to what it is, the threshold, the diseases of the ear, and if you keep scrolling down, it'll show you all that and it'll give you the information for there. Tinnitus in my case is 10% ringing, and the ears are disengaged ratings for hearing loss, though. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's just like you will get tinnitus is 10%. Hearing loss, it depends on the threshold and the level of hearing that you lost. So me, I have some hearing loss, but it's not to the point where I require a hearing aid to be able to hear out my ear. Like I can still listen, but it's certain levels I cannot hear. For them, they want it to be like you can't hear shit. Like to get hearing loss, you have to be like literally like, you know, when they sit you in a little button thing and you can't hear it. They want it to be like you just hear the whole time like this. You ain't pressing shit. That's how they want you to hearing your hearing to be there. It's like you can't even press a damn thing. Like you just stuck. Just like, is it going off or not? Like that's how they basically want it to be, and it sucks. But let me see what they said. I medically retired from the army at 30% and 100% through the VA. Okay. Finding a VSO. Yeah. So finding a VSO. There is a link for that also. And I'm gonna put that shit in here. See that's why I like to do this because the thing is this is why I find that I stand out from these other channels because I'm giving you the link so you can go through the VA and find that information yourself. It's not me making stuff up. It's like, hey, here's the information for you to have. You dissect it, you get what you need out of it, and you use it. See, look, this is the link right here. Copy, paste. That right there is the link for you to find a VA accredited representative. Now, there's VSOs that are part of the American Legion, the Disabled American Veterans, Veterans of Foreign Wars, even the Wounded Warrior Project, and also within the actual, sometimes within the VA facility, like how they have here for me in Kansas in Topeka, there is a VSO there. He is a part of the American Legion, but he works for it there. So that's what you have to do. Yep, see? Same thing. BFW, American Legion. There's a ton of entities with VSOs that can assist you and can help better your claim and help put it together in a better way where you are not paying money. That is one of the most biggest reasons I also do this is because there is a lot of organizations that steal money from veterans. There's one of these channels on YouTube. I forget. Yes, even with bills and food and stuff like that, and they will assist with that. I'm part of the. I I haven't been to the BFW in a while, but I signed up for it while I was in Germany the last time I was over there through their post over there. But you do all of that, and the thing is a lot of veterans are being scammed in the way that I wouldn't say it's not technically scammed, but they're being exploited in a way also. Because the thing is a lot of veterans go to these other organizations that have these lawyers or whatever the case may be, and they are paying to get their claims done. Because these people will be like, oh, we assure you you're going to get the highest claim possible, yada, yada, yada. And some people get filled into a contract where it's just like, hey, you're going to be paying me 10% for the rest of your life. Kind of stupid shit. Um, and it's just like it's hard and people don't understand that there's many instances where veterans are being taken advantage of that they're asking for people to pay to have a disability claim. Like, look, I'm telling you what you got to do. You can file a disability claim easily and you can go to a VSO which doesn't charge you anything. There's resources, and then the thing is like, look, I'm not saying anything against those lawyers because in some instances you may need lawyers that are experts in this, that know the laws and stuff like that, to get what you need, to fight those higher level reviews and stuff like that, to have an entity that actually provides it. But if you are having a veteran pay something for the rest of their life to one of these contracts to help them file a claim, That's fraud to me. That's scamming veterans. If I'm not giving you a one-time payment and then you help me and I'm done with it, that's an issue. If I'm continuously paying you for something that you did 20 years ago and I'm still paying you a thing because of that, that's how some of this. I forget. It's I think it was a VA Claims Insider. I'm not sure if that was the name. There's another one that's something. There's something that's named close to that, and they have a YouTube channel, and they've been talked about a lot. Where it's just like they are exploiting veterans because they will try to put veterans into those contracts. They get them to 100%, or they assist them with everything. You know, they give them Nexus letter, they do all that stuff, but then they start charging them a monthly fee that continues as that person gets back. Or let's say they get a certain amount of back pay, they will try to take a percentage of your back pay. And I'm just like, you didn't no. It's just like no veteran should be giving anybody part of their back pay as part of payment for a service that was rendered. It was just like you provided a service, I paid you up front, or I paid you at the end of it. But taking a veteran's back pay, that's questionable. But that's what I say. I provide information, y'all got links, y'all get to look at it, y'all get to research it. Y'all shouldn't be paying anybody out of pocket to file a disability claim. If you go ahead, right, you get your documentation right, you get your Nexus letters right, you get your service connection right, you don't have to do that. Also, those lawsuit claims that we see on TV can affect your see, and that's crazy. That is crazy that they would try to charge you 10% for 12 months based on what they increase you by. So let's say you go from like 10% of your monthly compensation, and that's what, like 200 something dollars. What's the 10% rating at? I don't even know. Or but it's 10% of what you increased. Not what your rating is. It's 10% of what you increased. So let's say you went from that 10%. Yeah, let's say you went from that 10% to 100%. They want out of that 90% jump, they want 10% out of that. Not your 10% payment. They want 90 out of that 90%, they want 10% of that. That's how they get people. So they're gonna get a contract that they're gonna start charging you $600, $700 a month. Yes, it is damn theft, and that's why I do this stuff like this. That is just to try to educate veterans and try to teach them, like, hey, try to educate veterans and try to teach active duty. Which, like I said, I'm still getting phone calls from people. I've been out going on. Next month, I hit 2 years since I've been out. And I still got people contacting me, calling me because they've seen my channel, they've seen what I've done, they see how I'm living now, where it's just like I'm stress free. I don't have to deal with the stuff. I still deal with the disability stuff, but I don't deal with the issues of being in the military anymore. And they just reach out to me like, "Hey man, what do I need to do to file? What do I need to do to this? How do I file this? Like, what documents do I need? What do I need to do?" And I've gotten a bunch of my friends now, they are now 100% PNT because of me assisting them. Just explaining to them, like, hey, you got the documentation, you have this. Make sure you go get seen for that. If you can, try to go get an x ray for that, or try to get an MRI for that issue because you've been ongoing and stuff like that. I did 10 years in the Army and I was a chemical. People just be like, "You fucking chemical." I was just like, yes. And people tend to forget that me being chemical means I can get thrown into any fucking unit, which fucking sucks. So you're like supply. Seaburn and supply can go anywhere. Every unit needs them. So you get thrown into everybody's thing. I just sent my dad back to the VSO and he got 100%. Yeah, because the thing is that's why I'm building my channel. I have helped at least 10 people go through the process. I just retired August 1st. Yeah. See, and that's the thing. The thing is Riley, I appreciate you coming in and finding me here because this will be great just to be able to assist. And hey, look, if one of these days Hopefully we have like a little I have a little podcast going. I'll invite you on there. We could just talk about certain things that you have so that people get more exposure to it. The best thing I suggest for growing your channel, do lives like this. Just do lives like this. If you can get the chance, go live and just start talking to people, because the thing is you will run into a bunch of veterans this way a lot easier sometimes than it is making actual videos. Because the thing is like most of the channels, most people go to those big channels like the Combat Craig, the what is it, Civ Div, and there's another dude with a big ass beard. Um, there's the H Town Vet. He was a good one. There's a bunch of channels that are populating up, but make sure that you're assisting people in a certain way that helps them in a certain thing. The claims inside, it might be them. I'm not sure if they're the ones that scam. It's something insider, I think, or something like that. There's one of them that is just like they have a channel and they're like, because there's like maybe out of the veteran stuff, there's maybe like 7 channels that are like huge. Hey, appreciate the subscribing, man. But yeah, there's a couple of channels that do that they gaslight veterans into thinking you need to do this shit now or you're gonna lose out on something. And it's just like, yeah, some of them are just like, look, some from that's the thing that I've noticed with a lot of these channels is they do a lot of these videos, and a lot of these videos is just like telling them like, hey, you need to do this to file. I'm just like, and they don't give them the actual information they need. They just make a nice thumbnail that attracts people, and then they don't even talk about what they're talking about. But then they claim they're still assisting, because then most of them now have their own medical providers that can provide you a Nexus letter. So it's just like it's a monetary pull. And the thing is that's what I tell people with this channel. It's just like, look, I have my membership. There's one for $1. I think the other one is like $3, and then the $10 one. I don't need y'all to sign up for the stuff. I don't want y'all to. If y'all want to, help donate for the channel, y'all can give a thanks or something like that. That's on you, but that's not required here. This is more to educate people. The more veterans I know are educated, the better I feel, because I know I've helped many people get out of the military and become successful and have their benefits and their stuff. And it's just like assisting people is easier that way. I'll say, I summon people to both VA claims decided and combat credit just for information only because. Yes, and that's why I like those, because they do bring in specialists sometimes, and they have those questions and those Q&As. But it's a lot of those times is like, in order to have those Q&As, you have to be a member, which I do understand, because I plan to do that with my channel, because I do have a friend that I served with that became a VA raider. And I plan on having that as a specific thing that is just like members only thing, where it's just like, hey, I'll have these chats with those members and they'll be able to ask questions. But then the videos and stuff like that, that's what I'll push out to everyone else to see so that they can gather information. So it's not specific questions. So make it like a more exclusive kind of thing. Middle first is Social Security, and it's easier to take it on ASAP rather than when they really help. And that's the thing, the being informed, like that is a statement that doesn't get said enough. Being informed is extremely important. The thing is just like, as people now, like, look, Raleigh just retired. When did you just say you just retired? You just recently retired. And it's just like, you just recently retired. You have your information. Look, August 23. Oh, so you retiring soon. So you retiring next month. I just had a person that's in this channel. His name is Military Mike. He just retired June 14th. And I helped him with his claim and stuff like that. And he's been a great supporter of the channel and stuff like that. But it's just like, you learn all that stuff. Oh, last year, August of 23. Oh, got you. Okay. But yeah, it's just like, you've already learned so much stuff, and you have the aspect of the retired dealing with it. So dealing with a pension, dealing with that. And that's the thing. It's like, here it's just like, I try to help people with those you know, with filing disability, but it's also any other questions you have as a veteran. So like, you being retired, depending on the state you are, you get tax exemptions, you get property tax exemptions, some get education benefits and stuff like that. That's something I like to go over here. And that's what I said, like with the lives, I just try to do as much as possible, and I just try to orient it towards the veterans. So when y'all got questions, I try to get y'all the answer as best I can, and I try to provide you where to find it, because it's easier for me to do that instead of trying to make a video, because I can't accommodate a video that answers everybody's question. That'll be like a damn 15-hour long video, like trying to explain one state's in and outs and do this and this and that. So it's just more like if somebody comes in and asks a question, what the integrated disability, which says IDS, and so the integrated disability evaluation system, IDS. Is that what the BDD program became now? Is that so? Basically, when you say the integrated disability evaluation, is that something that you were doing like on your way out of the service? That you did the evaluations and all that stuff? Because that's how it was. That's what it is now. It's called the benefits delivery by discharge, which basically allows service members on active duty to file their disability when they're 180 days to 90 days away from ETSing from the military. So that allows them to file their disability claims, get their CMP examinations done, and all that stuff. So by the time they are out, let's say within a week or two, or maybe 2 to 3 weeks after you're out of the military, you know what your disability ratings are, you got your documentation, and you start getting the pay like within the next month. Also try to target active duty because we really don't have anything coming out of service on how to do things. Yes, definitely. I went to the medical board and got checked out by a third party. I was already in veteran affairs. Yes, so that it's kind of like the same thing. It's called the BDD process now, which basically while you're in active duty, they do your evaluations and stuff like that, which is from 180 days to 90 days that you have to do it. If you do it from 90 days and below, you have to file a disability claim, the regular process, which takes that extra amount of time. If you file it beforehand, from that 180 to 90 days, and you set everything up, you get your evaluations done and all that stuff. And by the time you are officially out in ETS, you get your information. I just took other buddies and they are changing the process. Oh, no problem. Yeah, they're gonna so they're trying to streamline the system, Raleigh. They're trying to make it that way. For me, like literally I have my, because the thing is the problem with active duty is just like the class that they give the active duty when it comes to the VA benefits is fucking trash. I was just like, I don't know why they don't make a better effort of doing that or better fixing it, but it is fucking trash. Because literally, at least for me, I left from Germany when I got out the military. And for me, that class was like, oh, this is the veteran affairs. You go through this. Um, you basically get your medical record and you file whatever disability claims you have and you file for it. And you can do the BDD process. And if you need help, we can come and, help you put your disabilities. And I was just like, cool, cool, cool. And then when I come out and I did all the research on my own, so I was able to get to my 100% PNT after that. Tab is fucking trash. That shit. The class for fucking Soldier for Life or whatever they want to call it, transition assistance program, whatever the fuck they want to call it, that shit is trash because they don't give you enough information. And literally, if you were overseas, I did talk to my VA Raider friend that they said that they are opening up a VSO. They're trying to implement a VSO over in Europe, which will be stationed one in Grafenwehr, which is in Germany, which was where I was at, and then the other one in Vicenza, Italy, for the other one. Yeah, see? So I know you understand that where it's just like, hey, you can file. We'll just help you file. You just file the documentation and you'll be on your way. And you're like, you know what? Yes, I'll file my disability claim. I got this. I know what I injured and stuff like that. And then next thing you know, you file and half your shit is denied. And you're like, yo, what the fuck just happened? And it was just like, they didn't explain nothing. They just tell you, oh, file disability. They don't tell you or go in depth as to, hey, you can do bilateral claims. You can claim this, you can claim that. Um, I would have thought I was on skill bridge in the States. Okay, okay. That's the problem. The military doesn't prepare us for the VA during training. I saved every piece of paper while I was enlisted and it helped. Yes, and that's what I tell. That's what you got to tell the active duty, and that's what I tell them now. Um, they don't explain none of that. That's why I tell people go to sick call, whatever issues you have, go to sick call. No matter how minor it is, no matter what it is, go to sick call. I was lucky enough in my experience when I first joined in as a PFC that I had this old sergeant first class that was walking with a cane and just came up to me and was like, look, bro, you look like you high speed and you're gonna be high speed. But if you get hurt, it don't matter who it is, no matter what it is, go get checked out, go get the sick call, get it documented. Don't end up like me. Because at the end of the day, he basically said, look, at the end of the day, ain't nobody here gonna push you in that wheelchair but yourself. And that shit made me think. And it was just like, damn, this dude said in a wheelchair. He didn't even say he was walking with a cane. It was just like in a wheelchair. Ain't none of these people gonna be pushing you in that wheelchair. It's gonna be yourself moving yourself along. And I was just like, oh, okay. So then from there, anytime I got hurt, I felt that pinch in my shoulder. Shit, I still got issues with this shoulder. Got it checked. When I first got my dislocated bulging discs in my back, got that checked. Ankle sprain, got that checked. Hip, got that checked. Behavioral health, I was just going because I wanted to not slap the shit out of somebody. So I had to go talk to somebody about it. It was just like behavioral health, check. And it was just like that made my process of getting to 100% P&T 100 times easier because I was lucky enough to run into that sergeant first class. And a lot of active duty don't understand that and don't know that. Some people go through some issues where they get med boarded. Some people go through issues that they don't document and don't get it. But then when it comes to dealing with the VA, you hear all these horror stories. Yeah, see? So stuff like that. And it's just like, and then you have people having issues with that, and then they still try to deny it. Like, yeah, fucked me up. Y'all did this. I didn't do this. Y'all did this to me. And then they try to deny that it happened. But active duty don't know that. And then active duty, all they hear is these horror stories from us veterans that are dealing with the stuff now. But they don't educate them on what the process is to be prepared when you get out. Having that plan, having that stuff in place is a big thing. Yes. And people don't understand, people don't realize that, and people don't pay attention to that. Because I've had a bunch of people that is like they wait after the year and then they just be like, man, I didn't think I was going to get anything, so I didn't bother. The amount of times I've heard that, it was just like, I didn't think I was going to get anywhere. I didn't think I was going to get a rating or anything, so I didn't bother to fucking sign up. I didn't bother to go through the VA. I didn't bother through it. And then there's some times where it's just like, but then that's the thing. Some people don't know about the Nexus letter either. So if they're not aware, they're gonna file their disability claims after the fact, and then it gets denied, and they're like, you know what? I'm not even gonna bother with this shit because they didn't know what they were supposed to do. Even harder when you're medical and deal with sick call daily and feel bad giving folks even more. Yes, Patrick, and that's what I tell people. It's just like you have a great attitude and demonstrate leadership. It's just like my soldiers love me. People love me in the military because I always took care of them. I took care of myself and I took care of the people around me. Because if the people around me were good and I'm good, that means I know I'm gonna be good because they good. And that's what it was. And it's just like that's the same thing with veterans. It's just like if I know the veterans that come in here and leave with more knowledge than what they had before, and they can teach that to somebody else, that's knowledge that's spreading. I was just like, I don't need the credit for it. The credit's already in the documentation and the paperwork that's available to you. It's just the ability to spread it and get it to the people that need it is the part that we're hurting at as veterans. And it's just like you have to show that. You have to show them and teach them how to do things. And it's just like a lot of people don't have that mentality. It's just like, hey, you're supposed to be better than me. If you coming in after me, you're supposed to be better than me. Because if you're better than me, that means I made the army better and I did my fucking job. A lot of people don't look at it like that. A lot of people don't look at it like that. A lot of people are just like, if you came in after me, you're supposed to leave better than me. Whatever my level is at, by the time you get to my level, you should be far exceeding that. That's my job, and that's what I'm supposed to do as a leader. People don't look at it like that. I didn't get that leadership. Yeah, and it's just like, and that's what it is. It's just training people up. But the thing is like, towards those ending years of me in the military, I wasn't getting that anymore. The people that were supposed to be mentoring me, I was leaving them far fucking behind, but they still outranked me. I was just like, hey, if I would have decided to re-enlist, I would have had my seven. I would have had my 7 and 7 if COVID wouldn't have fucking hit and would have canceled my fucking my damn SLC class. I had SLC in year 7. So basically I would say like year 8, I would have gotten picked up for 7. And I would have done 7 and 8, or maybe if I would have gotten lucky, gotten close enough 7 and 7, which is damn near unheard of in many places. But when you start working in certain places, and it's just like that level of teaching, that level of mentoring, that level of development isn't there. I was just like, I just got I got hit with the wrong fucking unit in the wrong place, which made me lose my love for the military. And I got out. But now it's just like, hey, I still have that love to teach people, and it's just like I need to teach veterans to make sure they're okay, they're taken care of, and I don't want to see any homeless veterans, because we that's an issue we deal with, and a lot of the times it's because those veterans didn't have that information. Those veterans weren't taught what they needed to do. They didn't get taught the process of dealing with the VA or stuff like that. Some of them didn't have a plan. Some of them don't know how to use the GI Bill. Some of them don't know how to get the resources and go through the VSO and stuff like that. And they end up in the street. And it's just like, if I can avoid that by teaching somebody or making a channel which gives people information on how to prepare themselves for life after the military, I've done my fucking job. For cervical that were a major issue, we may seek care for at the VA after separation. So my son was nearly nothing on it. Such awful, yeah, yeah. You got the vocational rehabilitation thing, which basically you can use that and your GI Bill. I know a friend of mine that has been in school for the past 8 fucking years, and the way he did it was that the VA benefits. So if you, let's say you use your GI Bill, right? You can use your GI Bill as long as you have 1 day left. If you go and you use the VRE program, the vocational rehab and employment program, if they see that what you were doing was worth it, they will reimburse you your GI Bill, because you should have been using the VRE program. So if you're gonna go to school after you get out, use the VRE program first, and then you can use your GI Bill. But if you started using your GI Bill, you can use the VRE afterwards, and then they might do. Yeah, there's certain ways. It's not always that it happens, so don't take it as this is an automatic. But he has been going to school because he did that. He used his GI Bill, not knowing. Then he went and he got back, and he went and did the VRE thing. He still had some time in his thing, and they was like, well, you could have just used your VRE, so we're reimbursing you for your time there. So they gave him his GI Bill back. So he went to the VRE, got his thing, and then he used his GI Bill again. So he's been in school for 8 years. I think he's a jeweler or some shit right now. I think he's doing jewelry. He's like teaching himself how to be a jeweler right now. It's just like, hey, it's employment and stuff like that. Yeah, because it is legit. I tried to apply for it to get my GI Bill extended to go to law school, but my disability wasn't high enough. Good program. It depends. Like sometimes it depends. I'm not sure what the disability criteria is, but it also depends on how you go about it. It's how you go about it when you do the vocational rehabilitation and what you're asking for. So you have to make sure that you're providing a job or a thing that's going to enhance what you are capable of doing or what you plan to do. So like for me right now, I'm using my GI Bill to do my master's. Um, I'm using my GI Bill to do my master's degree. I finish my master's degree next year in public administration. What I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to use the VRE to pay for my PhD if I decide to go that route. So then it'll be Doctor Just Cruise on the fucking thing. It has a nice ring to it, though. But we'll see. We'll see if we get there. But I'm gonna see if the VRE will do that, because it's basically enhancing my employment and it's giving me better things. It's just like, hey, if I can get a job for human resources or anything like that, and do it, and I'm getting my PhD paid for by the VRE, shit, I'm making sure to take advantage of these benefits. The dependence education assistance, a lot of veterans didn't know that. I taught somebody about that earlier today because they asked, because their son got taken off of the VA thing at 18. And I told them you got to contact the VA and tell them they're going to be in school, which extends their time. But then I told them of the Chapter 35, which is dependents education assistance, that is like, hey, your son will get a monthly stipend since you are 100% PNT. You will get a stipend. Yeah, Chapter 35. He will get a monthly stipend while he's enrolled in school until he's finished with school. And that is something that can work for your spouse or any of your dependents. And he was like, what are you talking about? I was just like, what? I was just like, he said he had been 100% PNT going on 15 years and didn't know about that. The other one is the Champ VA. A lot of people don't know about Champ VA. A lot of people don't know that basically having Champ VA is kind of like almost having free healthcare. Not gonna say it's free entirely, but it's like having free healthcare when you're 100% PNT. What sucks is that you have to be 100% PNT to get there, but once you're there, there's a free business program by Mississippi State University called Boost to Business, which is a free online program for vets and their dependents. And that's why I say each state also, and that's something that, like, if y'all go and check a bunch of my older videos when I do these workshops, it was on property tax exemptions or education exemptions or benefits for certain states. And I go through it. I tell people the property tax exemptions, how much their property can be exempt for, how much it is. Some states have no property tax, like you don't get any property tax taken away from you for that. Some it's no retirement is taxed or counted as income, is not taxable income. So basically, hey, if you retire in certain states, you're getting your 100% disability, you're getting your full pension, and then you might not pay property tax on your state. And all that stuff is the 25%. See, yeah, see, it depends. It depends on what state you are. Some states are just built different. It is, and that's the thing. It is better than nothing. I just think something like that. The small business accredited program. Yes, they have, like, each state has its own thing. So this is what I'll give you this link. 1 second. So this link right here, it is. So that link right there, don't mind the fact that it says Air Force. They basically do it. They basically do it for each branch has its own thing. So each branch has their own, like my Air Force benefits, my Army benefits, my Marine benefits, and all that stuff. Each one of them has it. If you go on there, like me, I'm from Kansas, so that's the first one that you're gonna see. If you go back and just click on where it says state and territory benefits, it breaks down every single state. If you check on all of those, it'll give you an explanation of what your military benefits are and your veteran benefits are for each state. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You can go and you can check every single state. You go to every single state and it'll tell you exactly what everything that you can get from there, and it is from a .mil source. Like I said, everything that I give you is from a .mil or .gov source. I don't do these outside sources that a lot of channels be doing. Jen has been flowing, switching around or canceling a lot of VA benefits, most notably for PNT. Whilst yes, I have been hearing about that. I have been hearing a bunch of stuff from that, which is crazy to me because they have active installations there. That's why I find it crazy. Like I expect that from a state that doesn't really have much of a veteran population, but for a state that has a lot of veterans in there and they have a lot of active duty and reserve people working in there, that's crazy. For sure. Oh, in fact, it's like referencing, yeah. Yep. And that's what it is. You can go check that link and go to your state and it'll tell you your state benefits. It'll tell you education benefits because there's a lot of benefits. Like there's some benefits that are split and are more dedicated to 100% PNT, and then there's a lot that you don't have to be 100% PNT. Like 100% PNT, the big notable ones are the Chapter 35 and Champ VA when you are that, and basically like free dental, free vision, but that's for the service member. But for family wise, Chapter 35, your dependent or your spouse being able to go to school and receiving that, that's a crazy benefit. With Champ VA, if you have a primary insurance and you have Champ VA as a second insurance, you basically don't have to pay anything out of pocket. So whatever charge you get, whatever treatment you get, whatever like that, your main insurance covers the whatever it does. Champ VA covers the other half. So basically, like I said, it's kind of like having free healthcare. And when they send you the Champ VA pamphlet, it explains to you, hey, this is what's covered and this is what's not. I was just like some it tells you you have to go through them first or not, or some if just like if you just have Champ VA as your insurance, it explains that to you in that booklet. It has its different criteria and stuff like that. But if you have your primary insurance already and you have a secondary insurance, you probably don't have to pay anything out of pocket to get seen. So if you get hurt, you get sick, family gets sick, something, it's just like, hey, go to the doctor. Yes, Champ VA is only for 100% PNT. Like I said, that's one of the one drawbacks that I hate about that. That is just like you have to be 100% PNT in order to do it. You cannot do it if you are under unemployability or temporary or scheduler. You can't do it that way. It has to be you are 100% PNT. And mainly will take you in. I'm supposed to pay moves on if you're highly rated disability to the go only in Maine, folks. It depends. Trying to push. Yeah, and the thing is just like 100% is tough to get. As tough as you make it. Because the thing is if you have your stuff, but that's another thing I tell people. A lot of people don't like when I say it. Not everybody's at 100%. I'm sorry to say it. Not everybody's at 100%. No champion for no, because the thing is Tricare. It's like basically you do the same thing. If you, I think for your retirees, if you are through there, it was like you already got Tricare. So Tricare basically does the same thing where you're going through Tricare for everything. So it's kind of the same benefit. It's just more like, hey, if you didn't do it, so that's why it's kind of that's why they did it that way. It's just like, look, if you can get Tricare, you're just gonna go through our medical shit and you're gonna do it that way. If you're not retired, which a lot of people are on your 100% PNT, you got to get your own stuff and you do it that way. Yeah, for people that separate, it's great for me because it's great for me and my family. I was like, we got the primary insurance from spouse's job, and we got my secondary insurance from Champ VA, and we don't have to worry about any health stuff. So that's it. It's a great resource and a great thing to be able to have. So, but yeah, it's you have to work on it. People need to know what they need to do, how they have to file, how they got to put their documentation together, how they have to put a nexus letter, how they should get a buddy letter, a buddy statement, making sure they have imagery with X-ray, MRI, stuff like that. The Pact Act stuff is not all that difficult. It's just basically the Pact Act is basically saying since you deploy to Iraq, you deploy to Afghanistan, Kuwait, Qatar. Do I have a bunch of these videos, Raleigh, because I do this. I do a veteran workshop every Sunday at 12 noon. 12 noon every Sunday. This is what I do without fail. Well, except last week, I totally forgot. I was doing so much shit around the house. We were like reorganizing. I totally forgot and it blew my mind. But I do it every Sunday, 12 noon Central Time. I do these workshops. Tonight, I just decided to get back on again, second time around, just to see because I know veterans don't be sleeping, so I figured I might as well just jump on here and do this. But every Sunday, I do a veterans workshop. Yeah, and that's the thing. And I have all those videos, and it's just like it's like about 37 videos I have so far. I think some of them are in vertical form, where it's like on the phone, and then since I have both, I have them in the form phone factor, and then I have it like if you're watching it on PC or your computer or TV, you can watch them that way. And most of the videos, it's like some of them I have dedicated stuff for, and then some of them I just put it as workshop because it varies in all different topics that we talk about. Um, some of them are strictly like for like how to do the VA math. I made a video on that. How to do the benefits at discharge, how to do education benefits, how to do property tax exemptions for certain states and stuff like that, and I go over it and then go through all of those. But at the same time, I answer people's questions as people come in and ask random questions while I'm doing it. I'll do that. Sometimes I get a bunch of people, sometimes I don't, but I just keep on doing it. And as people tune in, they just keep on finding that information. So yeah, I haven't gone through, I don't usually go back through them and I try to make chapters like this is what I spoke about, stuff like that. Cause like I said, it's like sometimes the the topic can change from one moment to the other. Like, hey, what do I do about this disability claim? I answer that question, and then the next question is like, how do I file? How do I do the Chapter 35 benefits and stuff? So it's just like a lot of those videos are just like, yeah, I'm just doing it. I'm just like I said, I know over time this channel will keep on growing, and I hope to just keep on being able to get that information to people and just have it. Like I'm trying to find ways to try to get and reach out more to the active duty community just to get them more of that information. Due to the huge spike in payments the last year or so, you'll see there it goes. Or that goes the next 2 years. Hopefully, it doesn't go anywhere. That's something you got some straps. I'm doing the best I can. I'm just working on it as slowly. It's just slow grind with YouTube. It's a slow grind. Some people get instant success. Some people don't. I just know like over time, me continuing to make content, continuing to do these workshops. There's never going to be a outage of veterans. There's always going to be veterans. You just retired last year. I got out 2 years ago. There's somebody that's probably going through the process right now that by the end of this week is going to be out the military and they're probably going to be needing information. So that's something that's just like, that's a continuous thing that's going to keep on happening where people are going to need information. Uh, but yeah, with the Pact Act, look, what I say, Patrick, with this, when you go to any of these channels and they start saying that, oh, there's a change that's coming, if they don't give you the fucking date and they don't give you where they found that information at, don't pay attention to it. Don't pay attention to it. Yeah, that's the thing. YouTube is always like that's what I say. I know there's many channels that do the same thing I do. There's other great channels too. There's terrible channels and there's great channels. I'm just a channel that's trying to help. There's other channels that are trying to do the same. It's just like whoever reaches you, I just hope they give you the great information that you deserve. That's all I want. I don't care if it's my channel or somebody else's. As long as they are giving you and providing you the information that you need as a veteran, I'm cool with that. Yeah, that's all we can do. As long as we giving them the information, that's the best thing we can do. Yeah, I've noticed that, and that's why I started doing more of the vertical form also. Because the thing is one thing I realized is just like people are on their phones. When you out and about, a lot of people ain't walking around with a TV mounted on somewhere, or a tablet, or a computer on hand, tablet or laptop. What they do have is their phone. So if I'm on the phone, that's a lot of people that can do that. Came from military, yeah. So that's what it is. So you get used to that, and just like through shorts, through vertical format is easier because I know people. It's easier for somebody to have their phone in hand and be able to watch me than to be somewhere going somewhere and have a computer or a TV available. So that's what I try to do shorts and stuff like that. I noticed other channels started doing it. Once I started doing it more often, I started announcing it. Another couple of other channels started doing the same thing. I was just like, I know where y'all got the idea from because nobody was doing it before me. I was the one that started it. I will say that. But maybe you do 50-second videos of quick facts. It might help you boost. I'm way ahead of you, bro. Way ahead of you. Check my channel out. Go to the Did You Know section. I already done. I've been there, done that, F. I've been there, done that. That's all I do. Hey, every Wednesday around 5 to 6 o'clock p.m., there's a new short that comes out. And it's a Did You Know fact. And that's what I do. The thing is Raleigh, that's what I need to work on. I need to work on making those longer videos. So I have the shorts on a lot of topics, but a lot of the times I cover them in those lives. I just need to take the time and set out to make those videos, longer form content, like videos content that covers those shorts. I'm just myself, man. But it's just like I do the shorts, The shorts, literally, I have a template. I just have whatever I read, I record the audio. I have a template. It's of a helicopter, and that was me when I was on the opposite helicopter. So you'll see the blades, but I'm taking the video from me sitting in a helicopter and watching a helicopter basically touch down. And that's what my shorts video is. I just have that on repeat basically. It plays through the video and I give people facts, whatever it is. Some I contain the link of what I'm talking about within that short. For others, I don't. It's just like I just give you that information kind of thing. But once I start making those longer videos for that, I'll connect those videos to it. So like, hey, you tune into the short. Like, let me see, what was the last one I just did? Yeah, the last one I just did was the buddy letter and statements. That was a short. Then before that, it was compensation and pension exams. Then before that, it was veteran disability and compensations effective dates. The one before that, benefits delivery by discharge. So I do that every Wednesday. There is a new short that comes out. No, trust me, I've been trying to integrate that and do that with the programs I use, where I have it that I'm still trying to like program it so that basically, let's say you have a question that once I click on the question, it starts recording the question and it starts recording till I stop it. I'm still working on it to try to make it that it's a quick action button that I can do on my computer. So literally it's just like, oh, F just asked this question. Boom. Highlight your question. I'm trying to find a way to highlight it so that it shows it on the screen. Like, okay, this is the question that was asked. I record, and then I give the answer on it like that. And that's how I want to make my secondary shorts. So the regular shorts is just did you know facts where I'm not showing myself. And then I want to do those Q&A shorts where it's just like, hey, somebody asked a question. I do that. I started recording some, but the thing is, it's just like the timing was off and I didn't highlight the question. So it was just like me answering the question, and you have no idea what the hell was that. So it's just like, okay, I need to figure out how to do this better so that I can highlight the question, get into it, answer it, and then just like, hey, this is my answer for this. Hopefully, this teaches somebody like that. So it's in a process. I've been doing that. Yeah, Riley, definitely do that. If you have like stuff like since you're a retired veteran, make sure you put that into it also. Make sure you have highlighted stuff that is for retirees. So that way you make sure you're reaching those retirees while giving out those information. So you can have did you know facts or retiree facts or something like that and just make shorts. And remember the thing is you gotta remember those videos have to be within 60 seconds. So it has to be a 60-second video when it comes to shorts. It's not like TikTok or any of these other ones that you can make longer videos and it's still in vertical form. When it comes to YouTube shorts, it has to be within 60 seconds. If it's longer than 60 seconds, the video is not going to take it, which is what sucks. So you have to make sure you're using YouTube shorts and you're using it a 60-second video. If you notice from some of mine ain't even mine the like I think the shortest one I have is maybe like 30 seconds. Everything ranges from like 30 to like 55 seconds or something like that. No research page is fairly yeah. And it takes time. Like it's just like you go at your pace, you keep going, you keep on finding the stuff, you keep on producing content and you keep on increasing like that. And I'm telling you, it'll come as ease because the more knowledge you keep gaining, the easier it is to make the content. It's just making sure you have the time to do it. Um, but yeah, like I said, for all those shorts, as I'm making all those shorts and I have that, veterans, is that the official? Is that 2.7 or is that what the CPI is looking at right now? Because I believe they announced it in August. So basically, they wait for the figures from September, August, and July to then put it. Yeah, it went down from 3. Yeah, and then they'll announce it officially and thing. They're saying it might be like 2.5 at the end of it that it might go down to, but that shit makes no sense to me. But because that's where I got a lot of my subscribers. I got it because I'm the only channel that has your disabled veterans rates on YouTube. I'm the only one that has an actual video showing what it is and what each payment is and the breakdown of it. I haven't seen anybody else do that shit. I know other people will do it, but that's what I have. 24 disability rates, and it shows you what the veteran makes. Then it shows you with dependents, without dependents, with one dependent, with parent, stuff like that. And I have that, and that's something that I already have a template for, and that's a video I make every year now. I made it this year, 2024. Now for next year, 2025 disability rates, 2025 special monthly compensation rates. That's all the stuff I do. It's just like for some stuff, Rowley is just like you're gonna have a system where it's just like you can make videos that you know you can make every year. And for me, those are the videos I know I can make every year. I'm gonna make the veterans disability rates video. I make the special monthly compensation rates video. I'm going to make the military active duty pay video, and then I'm also going to do the reserves military pay video. So that's going to be 4 videos that I know every year I can always continue to produce till I don't make any more videos. Yes, and trust me, that's the one that's daunting because it's like the state benefits videos. It's just like some states have so much information that it's just like I don't want to bore people with how long they are, but I might have to do it. And it's just like you just do it like that because the state's benefits is good because the thing is there's 50 of them, and then you got the territories also. You got to remember that they also have benefits too. But the thing is just like some of it is education benefits for each state, and I can make like literally that's videos for each state, and that's what I was trying to do. But the thing is just like I'm in school, bro. I'm in a master's program. I ain't got time, man. I really, I really ain't got time. That's the this is the crazy thing. It's just like I had that idea in my head. It was like, you know what? I gotta make 52 shorts. I gotta make 50 shorts, 52 shorts for every week of the year. And I just make those shits out all in advance and I just schedule them and boom, got them. That's a lot. It's a lot, especially when you're working on your own. To like, you gotta record all the audio. You gotta make sure all the audio is good. So you gotta edit all the audio. Then you have to input it into the template. Make sure that the template is long enough, it's short enough, and stuff like that. Like it's time consuming. Oh no, I started doing that. Like the first short I did was for the state of Alabama because I was literally gonna go down the states and do it that way. And it was that if you are a I forget what it is, but it's just like you can go through a program through Alabama that allows you to get a training certificate so that you can become a teacher if you have your degree while you got it while in service or something like that. It's like a training certificate that if you got your like degree while in service, it allows you to get a like a teaching certificate in the state of Alabama to allow you to become a teacher without having to go through all the other stuff because you already got your degree. It's I forget what it's called, but that was I think like my first short, and I did that. And Michael, appreciate it, man. And I did that, and it was just like, damn, if I gotta go through all 50 states and find something, because at first it was just like, let me find a cool fact for each state, and then I realized it's just like, you know what, some of these, and then I started looking at because I do this for my master's thing. I look into a lot of the veteran affairs stuff. Like, I have a worksheet that I'm working on, an Excel worksheet that has a breakdown of how many veterans are in the state, um, where to find the VSOs for the state, where the retirement homes or the veteran state homes are at, where the like to click on a link so you can find all the emergency care places that will direct you straight to it, the property tax exemptions, clicking it so that you go to the law, the actual law that states what it is and gets updated, stuff like that. It's just like it's a bunch of stuff, but it's just like it's a process, and I realized like at some points I think it's like I overwhelm myself and I give myself more anxiety than I already deal with because it's just like I thought of so much shit that I gotta do, but then it's just like you know what, I gotta take my time, and with time I will just keep on creating this stuff, and as it goes, it's just like I'll have it all done. And if people need the information, they'll get the information. It's just like I said, there's tons of other channels that do it. I'm just doing it in one way that is just like, hey, this is information that I found beneficial when I was getting out of the military. These are the questions I had. So basically, like the questions I had, that's where I'm making a lot of the content from. Hey, thank Raleigh, thank you for the support. Thank you for being here, and best of luck with your channel. Like I said, I do this every Sunday. You got questions? It's always an interaction with different veterans. People asking questions, and it's just like we just go over topics, and I just produce the information for them so that everybody has it, and hopefully they are able to spread it to somebody and benefit from it. And it's just like I was just like rating the states for rating educational benefits. Nah, I throw a fit because some of the I think it pisses me off more than anything. Spouses and yes, so a lot of states have that. A lot of states have that where it's just like military survivors and dependents or like widows have a lot of those exemptions. Like when it comes to, do I think government will start cutting benefits this next 4 years? So this is something that's it's funny you asked that because I'm on TikTok also because I'm trying to find veterans on there too to push them over here. And I was talking about Project 2025. A lot of people ain't paying attention to it. A lot of people are hearing the other stuff, but I was just concerning myself with like the veteran aspect of this Project 2025 thing that's going to happen if it happens. What 20 Project 2025 is talking about is they are trying to make it that it's just like yes, veterans will get expedited um stuff. They will get like your claims, your reviews, your higher level reviews will be expedited and they will not be taking the amount of time that it does now. That's what they are talking about doing, which I agree with totally. Totally agree with that. There's nothing wrong with that. That is a great thing to do to try to make it that veterans will get their disabilities faster, get their ratings faster, get all that stuff. And it's not like, hey, you have to wait on a higher level review that takes you a year or 2 years to get the information. They're trying to reduce that, which, like I said, that's the good part about it. The bad part that isn't being spoken about and a lot of people are leaving out when they talk about oh how great it is the fact that they're trying to get rid of the secondaries. It's a lot of stripping of a lot of stuff. It's just like a lot of stuff is being taken away. So what they're trying to do is like yeah, they're saying that the disability ratings and all that stuff is going to be processed faster, but at the same time they are trying to take away some secondaries, which for a lot of people, that's how they got their higher ratings was because of secondary effects. So now let's say what they're trying to basically say is if they want to eliminate, they want to eliminate anything that is not service connected to you. So basically, like let's say you had a back injury in the military, that's service connected, cool. They want to keep that. But let's say you have a secondary for your hip because of your back, or you got sciatica now. Like I explained it like that. I was like, you got a back issue, and now you got sciatica. It goes down to your left side. Your left side is fucked. And now, since you're overcompensating, your right side is fucked too. They're gonna try to take away those secondaries. So basically, you wouldn't be able to claim that sciatica. You wouldn't be able to claim that ankle. You wouldn't be able to claim that injury that came to you on your right side because you're overcompensating because of your left side. So literally, like a person that has, let's say, those claims, like let's say sciatica is 10%, your D fucking up on your left side, that's 20%. Your ankle's another 20%. And then your hip is injured, which is a secondary to those things, that's another 10 or 20%. All those percentages are now gone. And the only percentage you have is your back. Now, that alone reduces so many veterans issues. And that's the part that they're not talking about. They're telling the veterans, yes, we're going to make sure your shit gets done quick. You'll get your stuff fine. I've got 100% just through PATs and my gyms adds up to about 200%. See, but that's what I'm saying. In certain cases, for certain people, that's not an issue. For certain people, they got the ratings like that. For me, I got all mine through primary stuff. I didn't have no secondary claims for my stuff. But for some people, they do have secondary claims. For some people, they do have issues that are caused because of their primary issue. Like some people get tinnitus, and from tinnitus, they get migraines, and from migraines, they end up with insomnia because of the headaches, or sometimes they even develop. Some people have issues where they develop sleep apnea or stuff like that because migraines, tinnitus, or they develop the fact like, hey, you got an injury, you can't run, you can't move around, you're gaining weight and stuff like that. You develop sleep apnea, you're not going to be able to claim that. You're not going to be able to claim that sleep apnea. Why? Because it wasn't service connected through the military. So basically, you're eliminating all that stuff. So let's say you have your PTSD, but it's connected to everything else. But that's the thing, you wouldn't be able to claim now. So basically, now your right knee, you wouldn't be able to claim that as a disability because of the fact that that didn't happen because of the military. It's a secondary effect, but it wasn't because of the military. So now you would not be able to claim that. So for you, we're good. We're at 100% PNT. We're not concerned with that. But for somebody that is not 100% PNT and they're trying to get to 100% PNT and they're dealing with all those issues, and now you're eliminating the fact that they can't connect them, that's a big factor. I don't see. So that's the thing with that. It's more like a guideline thing of what they want to do. The specifications aren't there, but the removing of the secondaries is one thing that they talk about. Now, I don't think they're gonna try to influence people that have already done it. Because the thing is the amount of uproar that would happen if they try to say, "Oh, if you're 100% PNT, we're gonna reevaluate you to see if you have secondaries and do that shit." But veterans would lose it. You would see veterans all over the place advocating and saying this and saying that and going through here, going through that. It would be ugly. Just like these politicians will never see a political seat again if that was the case, because it would just be veterans just like uprising, going to vote, doing marches, doing that. Everybody, all of a sudden, everybody going ruck, even though they can't ruck. Just like it'll be something like that, like crazy like that. But it's like that. If you're 100% PNT, you're good to go. There's no issues for you to deal with. Because the thing is if you were found 100% PNT, it's because the VA already knows like this dude ain't getting any better. He's gonna get worse, and we know he's gonna get worse because we know the ailments he has. He's gonna get worse. That's why you get that PNT, because otherwise they would just give you that 100%, which would be the scheduler one, which is just like I'm covered little, so I was blown up a few times in infantry while and they, but see, that's the thing. It was like you're set. Like 100% PNT, us as 100% PNT, we don't have any issues to worry about. But the thing is, it's just like, hey, when new policies come out, changes are made, stuff changes. We don't know. We don't know what happens. We don't know what those changes can be. It was just like this is what they're talking about, but that doesn't mean that's what's gonna happen. But the thing is, it's just like if these people are mentioning it, it's just like because it's in their thought process of like, hey, how can we save money through the VA? Well, we can save money by hiring more people to do the claims, but we can also save money if we're not giving them secondary claims that a lot of people are claiming, and they lose out on that. And there goes a whole bunch of money saved because if all these people you remove all these secondary claims from those people that are trying to get to 100%, that's going to be a drop in percentage for a lot of people. A lot of people are going to lose a lot of percentage, and that's a lot of money lost for them. And that's a lot of money I guess the government gets back that they don't have to pay out because you don't have no secondaries to claim anymore. So that's why people are just like, okay. That's why I just like try to talk to people about that because it's just like people need to realize. And then Project 2025 has a whole bunch of other stuff in there that I've heard of. I haven't read the whole 900 pages, but there's other instances like They talk about like the 40-hour work week is going to be gone. It is now going to be a 160-hour month. So basically, you're not going to work 40 hours a week. It'll be 160 a month. So basically, depending on how much they need you or not, depends on how much you would actually work. And so basically, like let's say you work that first week, you work 60 hours, you're not going to get paid overtime. Yes, Michael. That's the one thing that people, and that's why I say that's why I be pushing out that information just so that people understand that there's a lot of there's a lot of stuff there with the veteran affairs. They have it. The thing is it's not that the infrastructure isn't there; it's that the accountability isn't there through the veteran affairs. The amount of committee, if you've watched any of these Senate committees or House committees with the veteran affairs, that they're asking the veteran affairs like questions on the shit like, where's this money going? Where's this? Why was this much spent? Why was this stuff there? There's no fucking answers, and nobody's being held accountable. Nobody's losing their jobs. Nobody's doing anything. The person resigned on their own, and that was just like the scapegoat that they used. But nobody lost their job, stuff like that. People were getting paid like I think one thing was just like people were getting paid like extra bonuses or some shit that they weren't supposed to get paid, but they didn't have to pay the money back. They just kept the money. You need to work for politics. I've been told that many times. It was just like I don't know if I want to do that. But that's the thing. Is just like that stuff there is not available to people to see. People don't see that. Like all that stuff that's there, all that money that's being spent here, spent there, and it's just like people have their gripes about certain instances of where the money's spending, or you're spending it on this, or you're spending it on that. The thing is, it's just like nobody gets held accountable for it, and I think that's where we keep on running into issues. It's just like, look, if you're spending the money one place, at least I know where the money's being spent at, and you know. But when you go to a committee and the person don't have no idea where the fuck those fucking $10 million that for that program were given, they have no idea what the fuck it is. That's $10 million, and sometimes it's not only millions we talk about. I was just like, oh, this program, like one of the programs that they were trying to institute with the VA, that it was just like a system that would work with active duty military and the VA, so that basically your medical records would be sent directly. This program was supposed to be up and running, I think it was 2022. It is now 2024, and it still hasn't been fixed, and it's still not operational because it was supposed to already be implemented, I think, in 2023. Like, and it still hasn't been worked, but they're still making money off of it, and they're still getting paid to try to fix something that was already supposed to be produced. That's a waste of fucking money. But the thing is people don't complain about that. Stop it. And that's the thing. It's just like a lot of that stuff, and people don't make any mentions of it. They don't say nothing, and it's just like that's the problem we run into. It's just like if we ain't holding the people accountable that's doing it, what's gonna stop them from keep on fucking doing it? It's like it don't matter who the fuck you put in charge. If the same corruptness and the same fraud and abuse and waste, fraud and abuse is happening, but nobody got in trouble for it, what's stopping this new guy from doing the same shit? It's nobody is. Nothing is stopping them, and that's why we keep on doing it. That's why it's just like just like how we've been. The VA been around for some fucking time now. You know what I mean, to tell me I haven't straightened this shit out. Y'all still losing fucking money? How the fuck y'all still losing money after all these years? Yeah, and that's the thing, and they not. That's the thing, they not. So it's just like they ain't getting fired. The shit ain't happening. It's just like so what? It don't matter to them. It's just like they still getting their checks. They still getting paid. So it's just like at what point does that stop? It's just like you can change the fucking director, but if the same people are in office that were still hustling and bustling and making that money and pocketing it here or spending it there, we're not really spending it. It don't matter who the fuck you got there, and who ends up losing out on veterans. Like you said, you got all these global war on terrorism veterans now retiring. Everybody that joined after that 9/11 spark and all that stuff and did their Iraq time and did their Afghanistan time, now's when they're retiring if they did their full 10 years, their full 20 years. Now they're the ones going through disability, and a lot of them deal with PTSD. A lot of them deal with that rucking, that running, that knee problem, that back problem, that sleep problem, that anxiety problem, all that stuff from the deployments, just from rucking, from 10 years, 20 years of doing that shit. And they're just like, yeah, see, that's what I'm talking to. Them bonuses being paid. You got veterans that are still homeless. So it's just like all that money that went to those people getting bonuses. You could have probably built a fucking facility somewhere for some fucking veterans. Whatever city had the biggest amount of fucking veterans, homeless veterans, you could have taken all that bonus money and made it into a fucking facility for those veterans. Don't put me in office. If I get in office, I'm gonna make some changes. Is the thing is F is just like the country doesn't hear this shit. I was just like that's why sometimes I shy away from like the BFW and American Legion because it's just like y'all got these connections with these politicians, but y'all don't make enough fucking noise. Y'all don't make enough noise for it. I was just like all the branches, all these organizations, y'all don't make enough noise to make sure y'all pushing it out to all of society so that society understands what us veterans go through. I was just like, hey, it's only 1% of that decides to join the military. It's only 1%. That 1% doesn't get treated like it should. That 1% shouldn't be struggling. Shouldn't there should be no homeless. The fact that fucking here it's fucking a homeless veteran. That is the fucking words that should not be combined or ever heard together. But that's something you deal with. But society don't hear our stories. Society don't talk about that. Society don't make an issue of it. They just leave it as just you know what whatever the politicians say, and it's just like. And the thing is also is just like I pay attention to the bills and stuff that they pass. If you look at the bills that most of these people process and actually get done in Congress so that they make it seem like they fucking do something, it's a fucking facility name change. So now this facility, instead of it being just, the YouTube Foundation, this is now the Just Cruise, the Sergeant First Class or Sergeant Major Cruise building clinic in this location. And it was just like, bro, what? This is what you're spending fucking time and resources on the name fucking change instead of actually getting fucking policies and stuff changed that can actually benefit and help fucking veterans. Y'all worried about a fucking facility changing names? Or y'all worried about what is it for Cavazos or Fort Liberty or what's the other one? Fuck, I forgot what fucking Rucker got changed to. Um, this is what y'all spending my fucking taxpayer money on fixing is a fucking changing of a name of a fucking installation or a fucking medical facility and stuff like that. But then it took y'all this long to fucking get the Pact Act done after all these fucking Vietnam veterans almost damn near fucking dying, and none of them is not many of them left. They're running low in numbers, and then all of a sudden you wanted to pass something, talk about, oh, if you had Agent Orange exposure, like all these Vietnam fucking vets had fucking Agent Orange exposure. It took you how fucking long to try to take care of these people? These people were in there like what in the 70s? It is now 2020 fucking 4. So that means it took y'all 50 fucking years to try to get a fucking thing to help these people that y'all knew were dealing with issues regardless, and y'all were making it that tough for people? It's 2024. Basically 2025 now. Shit. We already at the halfway point, so but it's just like it took y'all. I don't even know. I didn't even look that part of Michael. I just get like that's what I said. I get pissed off sometimes when it's like going into politics about it because it's just like y'all spent all these resources and all this time making a policy to change the name, but the Pact Act took as long as it did, and then you still don't create anything to make sure there's no homeless veterans. The bonus army. What the fuck is that? I have not heard of that. But it's just like it's so much stuff that it's just like so much stuff is not being paid attention to. Like I said, there should be no homeless veterans at all at no cost. I shouldn't be able to say those two words together. Plain and simple. All this money that's being spent on supposedly programs and stuff like that, you could split that up and just find out where the biggest communities are of homeless veterans and try to house them. Now I understand. Now all of them want to be home in a home. Some of them like living that life. Some of them got used to it, and it's just like they like that survival mode thing because that's what got instituted into them, and that's what they're used to. The bonus army, also known as the bonus marchers or bonus expeditionary force, was a group of World War I's and their families who marched on Washington D.C. to demand early World War I's and their families to demand early payment of their service bonuses. The thing is just like, how do we get that happening? How do we actually get all these veterans talking together? And then you have that as your fucking answer. Just like it's like so imagine us as veterans coming together and fucking going and just be like, yo, we want we want we don't want to see any homeless veterans. Yeah, it's the same thing as like I tell people. It's just like the VA is just the military outside in the civilian world. Where those higher ups, I ain't got nothing to do with that shit. I didn't even know that shit was happening. I was in charge, but I had no idea it was happening. Word, really, nothing. You ain't know. You didn't know people were getting paid bonuses. Nothing. You ain't know. Come on, man. See, but that's the thing. That's the see statement like that. F is what is. Those are the things that bother me also because people say stuff like that, and that's not correct. It was just like stop giving it to illegals and stuff like that. The thing is just like it's easy for you as a veteran to get pissed off when they say stop giving it to illegals. But where to stop giving it and stop wasting it and stop abusing it and start pocketing it themselves part? Where's that at? Where's that mentioned? Because it's always stop giving it to the illegals. But why isn't it stop giving it to those politicians? Stop giving it to those people that work within there. Stop giving it to those contractors that don't deserve it. It's easy for me to say stop giving it to the illegals because you know why? Now you get upset at the fact that it's being said the illegals are taking it, but it's not them that's actually taking it. They're gonna blame it on the illegals, but how the fuck does the illegal give you that money? Who's the one authorizing it? It wasn't the illegals that authorized them to get that money. How you gonna blame the illegals for getting it? That's like you blaming the government for giving you your disability payment. You you see what I'm saying? So that's why it's just like when veterans say that, it's just like I understand being upset at that. You have a right to be upset at that. But we upset at the wrong people. Because the thing is the immigrants and those illegal aliens, they're not the ones that, yep. And it's easy to do that. That's how easy the media does it. And that's how you get confused and you forget about those politicians that are actually stealing your fucking money and not putting it into the fucking veterans. That's simple. That's simple. It's that simple. That misdirection, that distraction, that flashbang over there. That's the thing. That flashbang. Oh shit, what the fuck? Oh shit, they that way. Mind you, they've been behind you the whole fucking time. That's how they do it. And that's what people don't understand. And that's why when veterans say that, it's just like I try to explain to that. It's just like, no, we mad at the wrong people. You mad at aliens or illegals for getting it. And it's just like they didn't approve that shit. No, it's just like it's just the thing is that that's what we have to do to make sure that us as veterans understand that, so that other veterans don't start getting animosity towards groups that they shouldn't have. Because the thing is, see, you're accepting of it and you understand where I'm coming from. But I've told many veterans that, and many of them just like fucking disliked me after that. I was just like, oh, so you support fucking illegals getting money and shit like that? I was just like, look, if y'all gonna give me free money, am I gonna say no? Fuck no. Did you turn away your fucking COVID check? Some of y'all might have, but did y'all turn it away? Did y'all say, no, I didn't fucking want this money? I'm too good for this fucking money. Fuck no. You think fucking illegals are gonna fucking say that? Fuck no. You wanna give me resources, you wanna take care of me? Shit, I'm gonna accept that shit. I'm fucking hurting and shit like that. I'm gonna take the fucking money. But if we gonna blame the people that are receiving the money instead of the people that are giving the money, that's where we run into that issue. And like I said, I've had plenty of veterans that is just like, yeah, and that's what it is. I'm just refocusing it. I'm still angry at the fact that they're getting it. But the thing is I can't blame them for the being the ones that are receiving it. Because they're not the ones. You're not telling me that the illegals went to fucking Congress and said, hey, yo, politicians, I need y'all to give me that fucking money. No, you can't tell me. No veteran in their right mind can actually accept that and say that. No veteran can say that. No veteran can say the illegals went up to Congress and said, yo, we gonna take this money now. We ain't giving it to veterans. We giving it to the illegals. Ain't no illegal did that because they don't have the power to do that. Who has the power to do that? Those politicians, that VA director, those people that run those VA offices, the people that run the budgeting for the VA that were able to give those bonuses to people. Because look at the big deal that happened. See, they didn't talk about those bonuses like that. You heard about that shit one time and it disappeared. But how many times did you not hear about them illegals getting that money? That's how they do it. And then that's the thing. You got all these people that once they hear that, it's just like illegals. I can get behind that. I can get mad at them too. You know what? I'm already mad at them. Yeah, it's all their fault. What? And that's why you just got to tell people. It's just like, no, we got to have a conversation about these things so that people understand what's going on. It's not illegals that are fucking getting the money. It's just like somebody had to give them the money. They didn't take it. They're not taking the money. They're being given the money. So who's giving it to them? And that's what people need to realize. Who's giving it to them? It's just like that. They can't just go to the VA. There's no illegal that's going to go into the VA and just be like, look, I demand care. And the VA is just willingly just going to be like, yes, we will. We will follow everything you say, even though you have no citizenship or you're not a part of this country. Yes. No, that's not going to happen. But if you have a politician or a director that says, yo, hey, we're making extra money by, servicing these people because, the pharmacies and all that stuff, they're getting extra money because now we're getting more. Let's push it on over there. I'm just, hey, look, I just speak the stuff because some people sometimes forget and get misdirected in their fucking hearing or what they hear or what they're being told. I just like to I like to straighten out the ship. I like to make sure I'm going on a straight line. Dealing with the VA and stuff like that, these motherfuckers got you doing all this shit. You in the Grand Rapids after dealing with these motherfuckers, it's just like, oh, I thought I was gonna get a 10% rating. 6 months later, not service connected. Like, bro, what? That's how they do this shit. Because you know how much money goes into the VA? If I can eliminate paying secondaries, that's a lot of VA money I make back. If I don't have to pay y'all, then all of a sudden, let's see. So now, then that's the question I ask, because if the money isn't going to veterans, who's it going to? Because there's no plans of saying where that extra money's coming from. They never talk about that part. That part is always left out in the policy. Oh, now that we've saved a couple $100 million a month on payments, uh, we're just gonna bonuses. It's just it is what it is. It's just like people don't understand that. It's just like bonuses. Like I said, bonuses. It was just like, oh man, we got this extra cash. Well, I have been working at the VA for quite some time. I think 40,000 book, just 40,000. Nothing wild, just 40,000. I'll be okay with that, bro. What? I was just like, what you getting a bonus for? You're already doing your job. It's a public servant job and it's a contract job. So you're working at a GS job and you're getting a bonus. Where the fuck they do that at? How is there nothing there? Like, how isn't there a committee checking on that? Because they did the committee and they asked about the bonuses, but what happened after that committee? Not a fucking thing. Because they didn't even have to pay the money back. No, but the thing is F is just like it's difficult because the thing is with a lot of veterans it's hard to have these conversations because some of them just get so wrapped up in anger when you try talking to them about it. You I was able to have a conversation with and I was able to correct you, but it wasn't I was like trying to force a correction. I was just trying to enlighten you into a different perspective that you might have not thought of. That's all it was. And the thing is for some veterans, they just get so stuck in a certain perspective that they don't want to hear anything else. Like I said, I've spoken to many of them that have said that. Oh, these damn illegals are taking them. They're doing it to illegals, and I was just like, and I explained them the same way I explained to you. You understood what I was coming from. They were just like, I was just trying to explain like this is what's really going. This is what the real issue is. Because you know why? I want to actually help veterans. I want to make sure our veterans are taken care of now, the past ones, and the future ones. But the thing is if we don't fix the ship now, we ain't gonna fix it at all. It was just like if we don't make sure veterans are getting the treatment they need, if they're not getting the CMP examiners they need, if they don't have the funding, or where veterans are fucking taking months to get in a fucking appointment because they can't get into the VA, but then they don't want to outsource it. But you can pay money to a bonus. You can pay the money and give the money to illegals, but you can't pay the extra money to outsource it so that veteran doesn't have to drive 2 fucking hours to get his fucking CMP exam done. It was just like it's hard to do that, F, because it's just like you try to unite certain veterans and certain veterans, like I said, certain veterans are stuck in their ways. Certain veterans is like the same thing when people talk about like the gun control. You tell a veteran that the first thing that comes to their mind is that I'm gonna come into your house and I'm gonna grab all your fucking guns. And I'm like, bro, that's not what they're talking about. Some have said that, which ain't no veteran for that. But to have some sort of regulation so that to make sure that we don't have all these shootings and all these kids having issues at school because of it, yeah, there should be an extra little bit of regulation. That's the thing with a lot of veterans is just like some of them act tough, some of them don't know any better, some of them just got so institutionalized with the military that they didn't learn how to think for themselves, so they go off of what they're fed. And it's just like I said, it's easy to just say, hey, illegals are taking the money. How, Sway? It's just like, you see what I'm saying? Like, how does, like, you can't really explain that. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's just like that's when people say like certain kind of gun control. That's what people mean. But you talk to certain veterans about that. It's just like, well, if they want to take the gun out of my hand, they have to take it out of my cold dead hands. You know that regular saying that everybody always wants to say. And it's just like, bro, ain't nobody trying to take your gun away from you if you already got a gun. I'm just trying to make sure that a person that isn't right in the head doesn't get a fucking gun so that I don't have to worry about my kid going to fucking school and possibly having a fucking altercation where I have to run in with a gun to take care of my kid. See what I'm saying? Like that's the version people don't understand and people don't want to have that conversation because they just think it's just like, oh no, I'm just gonna strip you of your weapon. No, it's just no. I want to make sure my kids. I'm not sending my kid to school with a fucking weapon. I was just like, but you hear all these school shootings, it's just like, but it's just like, hey, if you can't protect the gun and people don't have it, and then somehow the kid, it's just like, there's stuff that just happens. No, make this have no quote. It was just like, so that's what I'm saying. It's not, it starts at the home. It does start at the home. But the thing is just like, some people just need to do that. Criminals, yes, criminals will be criminals. Juveniles will be criminals. But all these school shootings, none of those guys or none of those kids have been juveniles. None of those kids were criminals. Some of those were just kids that were able to get a weapon through a family member that shouldn't have had that weapon, and then they grabbed that weapon, and then they took it to school and then acted out their own decided justice on something that they might have been just picked on. The generations ain't the same as when we grew up. We would just throw hands. We would throw hands. We were mad. We throw hands and but like give each other a pound like, all right, we good, and that was it. This generation don't do that. This generation don't know how to throw hands. This generation don't throw hands for anything. The generations are not the same. So basically what has to happen is that you have to make changes. We have to adapt to new changes. We have to adapt to how the new generations are. Everybody is still basing themselves on what's happening is on what their generation went through. Bro, our time is done. Our time is gone. We're old now. There's newer kids coming in here. Technology is different, advancements is different. But the thing is we keep on sticking to the same mentality of these old age stuff. That's why I say with some of these politicians, if you've been in the Senate or Congress for motherfucking 20 years, your ass needs to go get gone. Why? Because you haven't been able to do shit in 20 plus years to fix this fucking country so that we don't have this struggle and stuff like that. You shouldn't be in fucking office because you haven't done your fucking job. And it's all but then also see, so like that's what I said. Certain gun control may do something, something like not, but at the same time, it's just like look at the situation this country is putting everybody in. Look at the struggle we're going through. Inflation, all this high price shit, all this crazy stuff. It's survival instincts. Yeah, term limits that's definitely should be mandated. Because the thing is like, look, I'm sorry, Joe Biden, you like 80, bro. What? You should be in a fucking retirement home. Trump, you damn near the same thing. You should be in a retirement home too. Half of these fucking senators, half of these congressmen are fucking past the retirement age. If you are past the retirement age, that means you should not be in Congress or serving. And that's what I'm saying. The survival mentality is different. Is different. People are getting more desperate and stuff like that. But then that's the thing. If you don't change the regulations to getting weapons and people are getting desperate, you have people that are not criminals, are not juveniles, that become criminals because why? I need to survive. I need to get food. I need to make some money. And that's what I haven't heard of anyone jacking up Burger King and McDonald's for food because they don't make the news. Because they don't want you to hear that shit. They get jacked. They definitely get jacked. You just don't hear about it. Why? Because they make sure that that media team don't do that. Because you know why? Burger King and McDonald's don't want you to hear about that shit. Why? Because that means they lose money. If it starts getting out how many times those places get robbed in those neighborhoods that are struggling, who's gonna want to go into that McDonald's? Nobody wants to go into that McDonald's. They don't want that reputation to be like, oh shit, McDonald's. Bad publicity in those big restaurants, you never fucking hear of it. Every place gets robbed. I don't care where you're at. If you're in a neighborhood that's rough and has it, everybody will get robbed. But bad publicity, hell no. In those big stores, you ain't gonna fucking hear that shit. Hell no. Cause then that's the thing is just like McDonald's gonna lose a shitload of money. If you start saying, hey man, you go into the McDonald's, you might get robbed. Who the fuck is gonna go to McDonald's? In certain towns, that starts spreading like, hey man, McDonald's got robbed 3 times this week. Ain't nobody gonna say that shit. Why? Because they want you to keep coming into McDonald's. If you feel scared for your life to go into McDonald's, that you might try to go get a fucking cheeseburger and and you come out empty-handed without your wallet, without your cash, and without a phone, McDonald's ain't gonna make much money. But that's what it is. It's just like there's different stuff. Also, there should be more relations with politicians not having better stuff inside certain like, hey, don't, nigga, don't even. That's a whole nother fucking like I said, accountability. That's what I keep talking about. That's why while I was in, I made sure I held my soldiers accountable and I told my soldiers to hold me accountable also. It wasn't just because I was your supervisor, I held you accountable. You held me accountable too. If I told you we was gonna do something and we didn't get it, that's on me. I fucked up, my fault. I make it up to y'all because I told y'all this was what was gonna happen, and it didn't. And that's the problem we have now in society. We're not holding people accountable. The people that we need to be holding accountable, we not. We blaming it on somebody else. Like I said with the whole illegals thing, everybody's blaming the illegals. The illegals don't get this fucking money. They don't make the money. They don't sign the policies. They don't sign the bills. They're not the one that control the money. So you can't you can be mad because they're receiving it, but they're not the factor. The factor is whoever's controlling it that's sending them the money. That's who we need to start asking questions about. But the direction is just being sent to those illegals. Why? Because what happens when it comes to election year? Y'all start talking about the fucking border. It's the same thing. It's an easy way to distract y'all, easy way to get mad. Because why? You start getting people, damn, all these people coming into our fucking country. But ain't nobody talking about not getting paid enough. Because the thing is just like, it's not like these illegals is coming in and taking your jobs and they're getting paid more than you are. So it's like, where y'all coming with this? It was just like, so y'all gonna get mad at them for that, but they still getting paid the same you are. But you should be getting paid more than they are, but they're getting paid the same, but you mad at them for getting paid, but you're not getting mad at the employer for not paying you right. You see what I'm saying? That misdirection is where people fail. That's where, as a society, we have failed because we take that easy way out to just listen to what they tell us to keep you off track and not understand, like, hey, be mad at that guy. He's at fault. Nah, bro, you the one with the money. Job companies don't like it. Yeah, that's why it's difficult. Like, look, I was trying to do that on TikTok. I actually got banned off of TikTok for supposedly misinformation when I was having a conversation just like this with y'all. Just having a conversation like this with y'all, just something simple. I wasn't cursing, wasn't losing my cool. I was just having a conversation. But I had people that came in that did not agree with me. And what did they do? They reported me for misinformation because they didn't agree with me. And what happened? I got banned. I'm still banned, I think, for another couple of days that I can't stream. Oh, well, no, I can go live again, I think, tomorrow. But I got banned for a whole week. Why? Because I was trying to talk on an issue and they didn't agree with me. So they reported me for misinformation and I got banned. So it's just like me trying to build a community and talk about it. It's just like this. I'm trying to build a community to help veterans and get them information. Spark, what's up? And the thing is it's difficult because the thing is if this information doesn't get put out, people don't understand that. They don't hear it. This whole talk about not blaming the illegals and talking about blaming these politicians that it's actually giving the money to them, that gets censored. That's not going to get blasted all over the place. You know why? Because they don't want that heat. They don't want that bad publicity. They don't want to talk about that shit. Like I said, that whole issue with the bonuses, people receiving, like those VA people receiving those bonuses. How many of them, how many times did you hear that plastered on the news? If you even heard it at all. Because I know a lot of people didn't even hear about those bonuses being paid to those people, even though we got people struggling and all that stuff. That's the thing. It's like the thing is I piss people off. See, look, George never heard of that shit. George never heard about all those bonuses that those officials in the VA got. But what did they tell you? Those illegals were getting money. So what did George get mad at? The illegals. But didn't hear nothing about all those bonuses that got paid. And mind you, those bonuses were not returned. So they paid them those bonuses and never got them back. 1151 claim. I'm not entirely sure what that is. 1151 claim. What is the title 38 USC 1151? So if you suffered an added disability or your existing disability got worse while you were getting VA medical care, taking part in a VA employment program, you may be able to keep. So basically, the VA fucked you up, is what you're saying. So you're trying to get compensated for that. So at least one of these must have led directly to an added disability or to your disability getting worse: VA carelessness or negligence, VA medical surgical treatment, VA health exam, a vocational rehabilitation course, or VA compensated work therapy. So basically, you're filing a file because basically something happened with you because of the VA. See, like stuff like that. See, so now like Spark could, file a claim, do that, but after that claim is filed, you get compensated. Does that person get fired? Does that person get removed? Do they actually do something about that person? Because if not, it's an easy way to, hey, we took care of it. Here's some money. And they keep the same fucking person in there. And that's what I said. Those are the issues that don't get spoken about. You're right. They might get promoted. But that's the unfortunate thing. And that's why I have these conversations with people, because the thing is that's I think outside the box. I look at things from a different perspective than most. So that's why sometimes I tend to piss people off, and sometimes people don't tend to get what I'm saying. Because the thing is sometimes I think about it in a different way, where it's not that, like, I look at it at like this level, and people sometimes just see it at this level. I'm not trying to say people aren't smart or anything like that. I'm just trying to say that my mentality looks at it from different perspectives all at once, while somebody may just have the perspective they're used to. So I just try to enlighten people and try to show them like there's different ways of doing stuff, and there's different ways of seeing it, because not everybody deals with the same experience. Some people have positive. Look, in the case of Spark had a fucking negative experience that she's trying to file a claim, or he or she, because I'm not sure. Spark might be female, male. I'm not sure what you are. Don't want to identify. But it's just basically you want to file a claim for something that happened. And it's just like, but the problem is, it's just like, you're going to get compensated. You're going to file it. They're going to do an investigation. And then it's just like, hexagon is, the hexagon in 2D is a box in 3D. Looking at your background. Oh, this over here. So these are basically just, hold on, oh shit. So those are basically hexagons that I basically made myself. So I bought the sound panels. There's hexagon sound panels. I made the logos. Those are like my emotes that I have. I made them. I pressed them onto some fabric. Then I wrapped them around the thing, and I just put them as that. And that's how I made my logos. That's how I made my sound panels. So that's how I have them like that. So that's how I have them. So they look like they pop out, but that's because it's the picture is imprinted on it, and then it's just like there. But Spark, if it comes to negligence, that you got to file for that stuff. That's something you have to do. You have to put that there so that people are aware and they see that. I do have a question. See if anyone can help. Does the VA label what disabilities are combat and which are not? Or because I'm a combat veteran, all disabilities are combat. I'm trying to do my CRSC. I don't. I'm not entirely sure there to answer the question as to if they are. What happened to my messages? Like my messages just like uh my messages ain't updating for some reason. Interesting. Hold on, let me see, because my messages for some reason I didn't see that. I didn't see all the knowledge and different perspectives equals power. It just Michael, it just helps with being able to assist people. That's what allows me to be better at assisting people in all this, is because I look at it in different ways. I know what I know, but the different perspectives allows certain veterans to file things or claim things that they didn't even think of claiming because they didn't realize they could, because they didn't think about it that way. And that's what I said. Goo is just like, if you're filing for it, because the CRSC, the combat related special compensation, is they're gonna look at it as your combat related. You're gonna have a diagnosis of all that stuff. They're gonna look at it that way. They're gonna look at it as just like, hey, you were in combat. The main thing is making sure you have combat and you have the stuff notated there. Let me look it up real quick. See what I can find on there. Yep. DD form 2860. Hold on, shit. Why isn't this shit loading? The fuck? Okay, let me see. All right, let me see. Let me just read over what I can read over here real quick. Eligibility. All of these must be true. You're retired, are entitled to or receiving military retirement pay. You have a disability rating of at least 10. Details about your retirement eligibility requirement, evidence and other documents you'll need. So, don't talk about. Also, we're still in the fight. Man, we always helping each other here, man. It's an ongoing thing that doesn't change. I thought I was the only veteran trying to jump through all these heaps. It's crazy. I found you online. I happen to stumble into people. It's just a coincidence. It works that way. Um, it's just a lot of veterans don't get taught this information. So what I try to do is when people come into the channel, they ask the question, I look it up. I'm currently not streaming on PC right now. Otherwise, I would be able to show you the actual page. But what I'm gonna do is here you go. I'm gonna put this here. That's the link for the page I'm looking at right now. Can't really show you because then I have to turn the whole thing. So I'm just reading off of what it says. So basically, the evidence and other documents you'll need to provide. You'll need to provide your service medical records. These must be from when your injury happened. They must show the severity of your medical condition that it's combat related. Official service records. These include after action reports, investigative reports, personnel action requests like a DA 4187, and performance evaluations like NCOERs or OERs. Your retirement records, your VA decisional, and your DD 214. What the evidence must show about your combat related disability. The evidence must show that your injury happened while you were, and it has a bunch of different bullets, engaged in armed conflict, in combat, or during an occupation or raid, or engaged in hazardous duty like demolition, flying, or parachuting, or participating in war simulation activities like live fire weapons practice or hand to hand combat training, or exposed to instruments of war like a military vehicle, weapon, or chemical agent, or engaged in activity you received a Purple Heart for. And it says how to apply, how to request the documents you need. The decision notice, send us a request in the form of letter or note. Be sure to ask for my VA rating decision letter, which that's one I think you could just, the one that you can just ask for there. How to apply for CRSC. Send your completed application along with any supporting documents to your uniformed service. Don't send original supporting documents since your uniformed service won't return them. Send copies only. And we recommend that you make a copy of your completed application for your own records. Fill out a claim for, this is the, hold on, copy link address. This is the form if you don't have it. I don't know if you'll be able to click that. Hopefully it opens up, but that's the PDF form. He said, once you download the PDF, open it using the Adobe, and it should go up there. When to apply to get full amount of your back payments. There's a 6-year statute of limitations for CRSC. To be sure you get the full amount of your back payments, you must file your CRSC claim within 6 years of any VA rating decision or the date you become entitled to retired pay, whichever comes first. If you file your claim after the 6-year limit, you can only get up to 6 years worth of payments due to you. Hey, I could appreciate that. Let me see if I can put this. It gives you which branch, because I know FU, what you were in the Army, this is the stuff here. Let me see if I can fit all of that there. No, it won't let me fit all of it. Let's see. So this is for the Army Resource Command. So FU, this is for you. This is where you would send it to. Damn, the facts don't even, hold on. I'm gonna split this into two different messages. 16. Why can't I fucking highlight this shit? Shit is like difficult as fuck. Email. Why the fuck is this shit being so difficult? Hold on, give me a second, y'all. So this is the first part of the message. So that's the attention part. So delete that. This is for the Army. That's the first part of the message. And this is the second half. Command attention. I don't know if it'll fit. Still over by 6. That, and then this is the fax number here. So literally that's the send it, that's the information to send it to the Army. Spark, I'm not sure, are you Army service member? What branch? Because I can put the uniform service address for whichever branch it is, and I can just put that in there so you can have that information also. But also, if you go into this link, the CSRC link that I posted, the first one, it has that info also. So this is the one for, let's see, Navy and Marine Corps address. So you have this part. Let me get this part in there first. Copy, paste that, and then this is the information there. And that's where you would send it to. So that basically, like I said, that's how I do these. That's how I do these lives. That's how I do this. Is just basically I get the information and I get it to y'all where y'all can see it, and that's the source. Like I said, I'll put the link again for the CRSC thing. But my suggestion to y'all both is if y'all doing this, make sure to go talk to a VSO when you're doing that. Make sure you talk to somebody that can assist you with it. Get all the documentation, read what the thing is, because that's the one thing I hate about the VA.gov site is it doesn't go in depth on a lot of shit where there's a lot of questions left unanswered when a veteran is trying to obtain information or find information. It's just like if I didn't search for CRSC in the search bar for the VA.gov, that shit is damn near impossible to find anything. Like sometimes it's difficult. Like some people don't even know that the VA.gov has a disability calculator on there. Some people just Google military disability calculator. They have an actual calculator on the fucking site. You just have to fucking search for it. So that's the problem. But yeah, that's the stuff it has there. It says questions you may have about CRSC. Yeah, if you need to fucking state your age, just let me know, and I can tell you where the VSOs are at. But that's what it is. The VSO site. If you need a search for it, I'll show you right here. This is the link to find an accredited representative or VSO. This is the link here. And you can just find it there. So you can click on that and that'll take you to the place. Like you can sign in to it and you can search for an accredited VSO representative, an accredited attorney, or an accredited claims agent. All three of those, you just type in your hey, goo, no problem. That's what I said. It's just like certain things is just like easier to find on here. The VA.gov site does have a shitload of information. It's just sometimes it's impossible to fucking find. If you don't know what you're searching for and how to search for it, it becomes tough. But for both of y'all, I hope y'all get that y'all get that going through. Y'all have it documented. Like I said, documentation is always the biggest thing when it comes to any of this. You have to make sure your documentation is straight, your paperwork is straight, you have everything you need, and that makes filing disability claims easier as long as you have it all notated and you have what you need. Because that's one topic. The CRSC is one topic I do not have a ton of knowledge on. And when it comes to stuff like that, I try to get y'all the baseline information, and then I try to tell y'all, hey, make sure y'all go talk to a VSO, which is more adept at this and can get you the qualified information and can get you information because the VSOs can look into the system and pull some of your information where I can't do that and I'm not gonna do that. You can go to the VSO, they can pull out your information, see what's already on your file, see what's on your record, and they can direct you better because they can get a visualization of what's in your file also while doing it. So it makes it a lot easier as you'll have your documentation to show and they'll be able to pull up the stuff there. Because I'm not. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because I'm trying to look into that and see. The past, you to get back into all the comments are if you get back this. Because it might be, what if my service officer didn't even know they existed? My service officer didn't even know they existed. And then said, I've read the whole thing and talked to a veteran. Let me see, is it in the Code of Federal Regulations? I don't know if it wouldn't be in chapter 4 because that's chapter 1. Let me see, what can I find? Let's see if I can find somewhere for you. So, what is it? Combat related. Because I think I'm not sure if it's just like certain conditions, but I think it's just like see in the case that you have both VA and thing, that's where you should definitely ask a yeah. So if they're asking for the disability ratings, I would ask because they're gonna probably ask for diagnostic codes, which is basically on your letter. So basically code whatever for whatever issue, and then they're gonna go. Who have the boss on? Yeah, so basically it's you're filling those out, and then the thing is depending on when you got that injury, they look it up themselves. So they ask you to put the diagnostics claims because they want to see what it is that you have been approved for service connection. Now the thing is that's gonna be in your record. So let's say you had that back injury and you got that in Iraq. They're gonna look it up and they're gonna look and see. It's like, okay, this is the claim, this is the diagnostic code, so it's for his back. It is service connected. Then they're gonna look into your file and look into like where was it that it happened and stuff like that. So now when they see, oh, injury happened in Iraq or whatever the case, that's what they'll do. Yeah, and that's what it is. That's why they ask for those diagnostic codes, because the thing is they want to. There, it's basically like, hey, what are you claiming you got in combat? So that way it's easier for them to search. Like, okay, you got this back injury, so now when I pull up your back injury, I should be able to find the documentation showing that it was like an injury that happened in Iraq. You have the documentation for it. You have like all the stuff like you asked for, all that documentation is what it is in the relationship to it, whether it's a buddy statement that connected it or whatever the case may be. That's what they go off of, and then that's how you can be like, okay, you got it because of this. Okay, we can approve you, and that's how they start paying you for it. But I'm not sure how the pay works. Like I said, that's something I still have to figure out. But what's those? If the injury happened in conflict and you needed surgery, and the surgery made your injury worse, then that should not impede your claim. Okay. No, because it's still something that happened within, and it's still combat related. But the thing is that's when it might be that way you might need more assistance because the VA might try to play it off like, well, you know how they gonna be. We ain't have that shit wasn't us. Unfortunately, it fucking sucks. But you know how the VA deals with stuff. No, that wasn't us. We didn't deal with that. That was not our issue or our causing. So not connected. You know what I'm saying? Like you know how it is. That's what makes it tough. He said I'm in Madrid, España. It just it sucks that we can spend one point topics on this question and still have a good time talking to fellow veterans. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. I enjoy meeting more veterans. I enjoy talking to veterans. I enjoy educating veterans because at the same time I get educated also. So basically, like I said, the more knowledge I can instill into me, I can instill into others. The next time somebody asks that question, and the same way I can instill information in y'all can answer the same going forward. So it's just like, hey, we keep on teaching each other. That's the best way of going about it. And it's just like, hey, it's a resource to be able to have people to tune in, chat, and talk to each other. Sometimes veterans need that. So, but yeah, that's what it is with that. You file your claims. Make sure you go to the VSO. Get that proper documentation that you may need. And like I said, sometimes it's good to just sit down and write stuff down because a lot of the shit that happened and a lot of the shit you experienced, you forget over that amount of time you've been in the service. And it takes something that happens after the fact. And that's what it is. It's just like that shit happens a lot. To a lot of veterans, you had that one injury that just fucking you overlooked it and always fucking forgot about. Write the shit down when it happened. Keep a fucking notebook, like I did with people. Like what I tell active duty service members now, keep a copy of your fucking profile. And for y'all, if y'all have anybody that y'all know that's still active duty, tell them to keep a copy of all their profiles. Because what happens with the profile is once that profile expires, it disappears. And profiles can be used when it comes to your disability claim to get a rating. What PNT vets need to know is their TPD discharge to defer, and you can use it for Parent Plus loans. You want to elaborate a bit more on that, Austin? What did you? Sorry, I haven't heard. Yeah, new channel. Oh no, I am a Army 10-year Army veteran. I was Seaburn that got attached all over the fucking place. Did everybody else's job, and I did my Seaburn job when I was actually in my Seaburn unit for that year and a half when I did nothing but Seaburn. But otherwise, I was all over the fucking all over the fucking place. Um, Yeah, that's what I was trying to ask Austin. So it's just like, yep, Seaburn all day, every day. I got the hold on, that should be. You'll see them there. I got my little masks there. I got them there. I got my mask. Always stay ready for that wild shit. uh, but yeah, I did 10 years in the military. I served in Fort Riley, Kansas. I served in Hawaii, and I served in Germany. Those are my three duty stations. Uh, had a little bullshit deployment. Um, little bullshit deployment to Kuwait. Couple of NTC rotations. Couple of JRTC rotations. A couple of defender exercises, working with the British Army, working with the German Army, working with the Polish Army. Yep, Schofield 25th ID. Good old strawberry. Good old lightning. The lightning. Oh, that's what you meant by the TPD discharge. I was so confused as I was just like, what the hell is TPD discharge? And yes, I was like, it automatically happens. Yes, that is something. If y'all didn't know, that is he is correct about that. When it comes to your student loans, no matter who services them, but also keep in check now. Nowadays, you have to make sure to check with who serviced your loans, because a lot of them are changing now, and they are no longer falling. Unless it was private loans, if it were school loans like Stafford loans, direct Stafford loans, or subsidized Stafford loans, some of them are under like Mohela or these other companies. They are now being shifted to under the Department of Education. So if you go, you can defer that, because basically once you become 100% PNT, all your school loans are wiped. And that's a benefit as getting to 100% PNT. It'll automatically happen, but you have to notify them so that they defer them. Because the thing is that basically, if you go like once they discharge those loans, let's say you go to school again and you take out loans, those loans will not be discharged. You will only get the discharge once. So basically, if you decide to defer it and you take out a whole bunch of loans and you decide you want to fucking go to Harvard and you want to pay to go to Harvard and you get those loans, you can go to Harvard, get your damn degree from Harvard, and then from there you can have your damn loans discharged after the fact, because of the fact you're 100% PNT. But if you do it once, you cannot do it a second time. So basically, you gain those, you get that shit removed, and that's what it is. If you're using your GI Bill for that, or if you're using the vocational rehabilitation and employment program, you're not paying for school loans because they're paying for the school. So basically, if you want to, you can get it removed. Like for me, I got my bachelor's degree removed, clean slate. Now I'm using my GI Bill to finish my master's degree. And then after that, maybe use the VRE to get my PhD. So that's a thing, that is something that most veterans don't understand. You have to let them know that you want to defer it if you're going to continue to school. But I know a lot of people don't end up doing that, because what they do is they let that get wiped, and then they use their GI Bill to just pay off whatever school they go to. Which, as long as you're going to school and you're paying it off, it pays it off. But then also you can use the VRE program to do that in there. See, we spoke about that earlier, Austin. So that's what it's called, the retroactive induction with VRE. So basically, you will get your GI Bill reimbursed for that. I did not know the actual terminology for that, so thank you for that, Austin. I am going to school for, I'm getting my master's in public administration. Funny, and I said I don't want to be a fucking politician, but here it goes. Here it fucking goes. So that's what I'm going to school for, public administration. So when y'all see me on fucking at the Capitol trying to make veteran policies, remember this moment. Remember this moment. You were here at the beginning. It's like you were here at the beginning. It's just like when y'all see that shit, remember that, because y'all were here at the beginning. Y'all can be like, man, I know that guy. I was in his live like 10 years ago before he started all this stuff. I was there on day one. And I would be like, yep, I remember that name. Because you know why, I'm gonna be able to pull this video up and I'll be like, look, this person was there, they were speaking to me on this day and stuff like that. And y'all have that shit on there too. So but no, I don't know if I'm gonna do that. But I definitely no, I'm currently using my GI Bill because I didn't find out about the VRE till after I started using my GI Bill. I only have said 10 years, 4 years. It's just like golly Hollywood, you make it. He said Hollywood, you better reform to help reform. Please reform, please reform. All right, you want your office? It's just like, look, I'm trying to do the best I can, y'all. No, it's just like right now, I'm just trying to do it at this level, trying to educate people, trying to get them the best thing we can, just to fix a bunch of shit. Because there's a lot of shit that needs fixing. But like I said, it's just we gotta hold people accountable and like, hey, when I make it to that office, y'all better be right into me and be like, look, Cruz, you said this shit, you better come through with this shit. And hey, that's my responsibility to do that or kick me out the fucking office, plain and simple. Um, but yeah, that's the main thing that is just like working on and doing that. It's just like you have to start at some level to be able to make these changes. As a veteran, it's tough to do that. Nah, Trump. It's not even that. It's not even firing people because the thing is, if the person you put in charge of them does the same shit, but he's your buddy, it don't make it any fucking better. And that's what I'm saying. Like with Trump, is just like yeah, he fired people, but then the same people he put into the place were doing the same fucking shady shit, just that he was people's with them. So that don't fucking fix the situation. Just because one person was crooked and you replace it with another crooked person, don't make it a. It's gonna be a fix. You use that other person to blame, and then you put whoever you wanted to. Like I said, like we talked about earlier, that misdirection. I'm gonna say it was their fault, but then I'll put the same dude that's gonna keep doing the same shit. But y'all mad at that other dude. Y'all forget that this dude is doing the same scheming. He said, "Man, I haven't had one of y'all come in a long time. Look, a troll, y'all. Everybody, welcome in Meep. Y'all see Meep here? There's a person that needs a hug. See, that's a person that needs a hug that doesn't get enough love. Probably a veteran that's probably hurting right now. Doesn't have the balls to actually ask for a military assistance. So he tries to do it in that way, but it's cool. Hold on. Let me see what I said. On topic, what are your thoughts regarding another possible coup attempt occurring at the Capitol? Do you think the military will support such a motion? A coup attempt at the all right, now this dude is just like, hold on, where is it at? Let's see, where do I put it? No, I know what you mean. I'm just trying to deal with. He said, "Don't ban me freedom of speech." You one of those ignorant ones that just likes to come in and think just because you have freedom of speech, you have the right to say whatever you want in my channel. You forget that this is my channel, and like I like to tell people, I obligate myself to listen to everybody. This is something I do. I obligate myself to listen to everybody, but I'm not obligated to agree with you. So, me, if you continue with your freedom of speech nonsense, I don't have to agree with it, and I will just ban you and block you. Or you could stay in here and actually be educated and talk to fellow veterans. It's on you. So, my thought process when it comes to a possible coup d'etat is just like there's a lot of stuff that has to happen for that to actually happen. Because you got to remember, this is more like it's the United States of America. but each one of these states, you can basically classify it as a country if you wanted to, because they all have different state laws, they all have different state issues, and they all deal with different stuff. So it's not just like you are trying to overtake a government, because that means you have to have the power, the backing to make sure that you can take over all 50 states. And that's what people don't understand. When they talk about it in other countries, it's easier because it's just like it's one country. All those other states start. There's states within that country, but the thing is they all are not the same. They all are different states, but they still follow the same laws. They still have a federal blanket over them. Here, you have a federal blanket, but you have state individual laws. So basically, if you're going to take a coup that takes over the government, that means you have to have all 50 states and territories all under your blanket in order to have that happen and actually be successful. So that's why it's like, even if it starts at the local level, it's not that simple to just overtake like coup. Oh, so you just a troll. Interesting. Also down for making elections trial by combat. If you go first, Meep, if you set the tone for it, I'll accept it. But I don't think you man enough for that. So that's cool though. But like I said, for the country to go through something like that, it'd be interesting. I don't think the CIA would be able to do it. I don't think this country would be able to do it that easily. I don't think for this country. I better watch Trump versus Biden playing golf. Bro, they probably won't even survive all 18 fucking holes. He said, I love your responses, Cruz. I'm a smart ass at heart. Look, we in the fucking military. We fucking veterans. There's no such thing as a fucking simple fucking answer or a simple thing. I will say what I have to say, and it is what it is. It was just like some people don't like it, some people get entertained. I stream on TikTok a bunch too. I've had so many trolls come in and they try to tell me some shit and I just roast them the fuck back. And some of them actually become friends, and then some of them actually get agitated and report me. Not my problem. And it's just like I say, when it comes to people like this, like what people don't understand when they come in and they try to troll when it comes to live streaming is that you make my stream look like it's popping because you keep on putting all these extra messages of you being, a dumbass, and you put all these extra messages in there. So YouTube sees it as like, damn, this dude is getting a hell of a lot of fucking engagement in this thing. Let's send more people over there. What years did I serve? 2012 to 2022. See, like this dude is still talking, and it's just like, sometimes I leave it, and then sometimes it's like, you know what, I get tired of it, because it's just like you get tired of people. Some people just come in here and just like, you know what, you can get put on timeout, and that's the thing. I can put people on timeout, and that's it. Then I don't got to worry about it. What years was I in Kuwait? What year was that? That was 14, 15, I think. Yeah, 14, 15. That's when I was there. 14, 15. 14, 15. Yeah, 14, 15. Joined in 12. Was at Riley from 13 to 16. Was in Hawaii from 16 to 19. And then I was in Germany the rest of the time. That's where I spent my time for those 10 years. Good 10 years. Good 10 years. Would I trade them? No. What would I trade them? Would I rather be fucking able-bodied and still do the fucking shit I was able to do before then? Probably. That's good. 14, 16-ish. We're the only little Marine unit there. Hey, the military is a small world. It's a small world. Me, I've worked in most of the locations I worked at had multiple people. When I was in Hawaii, you had all the branches there. So I ran into a bunch of people. When I was at Fort Leonard Wood and thing, I'm chemical. So it's a joint training base also. I ran into a bunch of branches in there too. In Germany, there was more working with foreign countries and stuff like that. Right, is it that time of the? It is that time of the day. It is 1 in the morning. I usually don't stream that long on YouTube. Damn, I've been going for 3 hours already. Holy shit! I told myself I was gonna be on for like an hour and stuff. So stuck in the middle of the ocean. What I tell people when they go to Hawaii is don't go to every single fucking beach within the first month. Oh yeah, I'm a East Coast. I'm a New York City cat. I'm a New York City kid, born and raised, and then ended up all over the fucking place. got hit with Central. Got hit with the lived in the West Coast for a bit. Um, I lived on MCAS Miramar for a couple of years. Lived in La Jolla around San Diego for your Marines. Um, I think 29 Palms was I forget how far. It wasn't too. It was like an hour or two away, maybe. Lived in Hawaii for a couple of years, and then lived in Germany. So, look, we learn to defend ourselves with our mouths until we need to use our fists. That's the simplest way of explaining it. That's a that's the simplest way of explaining it. We learn to defend ourselves with our mouths until we need to use our fists. That's it. That's the easiest way of putting it. Um, Man, 29 Palms, I've heard terrible shit from there. Never want to go. It's like, is your version of NTC. Never fuck that place. Man, fuck that shit. And I was getting stationed there for nothing. For nobody. Oh, I know what you meant. You didn't have to fix it. I knew that one. I heard about that one. Go to Lowe's, buy something. I'm a bucket for your bathtub or some water. I enjoyed my time there because the first 2 years I was there, I worked at division. I got worked like a dog, but it gave me a lot. I learned a lot. I was mentored a lot. And it was just like I learned how to do a lot of stuff because I kept on getting thrown. Like I got burnt out a lot. But I got rewarded for it. I made sure they sent me to the board. They sent me to classes and stuff like that. It was just like you work your ass off. I got rewarded for it, and that's how I learned to be a better leader. Because it was just like you work your ass off, you make sure that person gets something back. And then I went to the chemical unit and fuck that place. Oh yeah, y'all see that buddy? Y'all see my buddy? Y'all seen Casey? What's up, Casey? Say what's up to the people. The people see you. What's up? That man is a bigger celebrity on this damn YouTube channel and my damn streaming than I am. Tropic Thursdays though, nothing. Nothing. The thing is like a lot of people didn't understand that with living and working in Hawaii. So I had my lieutenant that would show up early. He would show up to PT. He would do PT for like an hour, and then he was in the office already working. And when I came to realize he told me it was just like, look, if I need to get shit done, and he was out of the office by like 2 in the afternoon, he was gone, like completely gone. He was just like, look, I get here and I start doing work super early. Why? Because the thing is you got to remember we're dealing with people on the East Coast. The people on the East Coast are 6 hours ahead of us. So if I need to get anything done where I need to call towards the East Coast or some of the civilians here need to call the East Coast for something, I need to get to it early in the morning, or otherwise, by the time 12 hits, by the time 11 in the morning hits, these motherfuckers is home. They clocking out, pulling a cat card out. It's like at 5 o'clock. I'm out. So he was just basically like, look, we doing that early morning shit, and that's why everybody was on aloha time. It was just like shit wasn't getting done because after a certain time, if you had to reach the States for something, unless you could get it from like the West Coast, you wasn't calling anything. If you had to call fucking like HRC or something and they always on the East Coast, you wasn't getting them. You had to call Fort Lee or fucking Gordon or all those places that were all on the East Coast. You weren't reaching them at that time. So he was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna do my shit early and then I'm fucking dipping. I'm just like, I'm not wasting time. But it is what it is. But y'all, it is 1 in the morning. I got shit to do tomorrow. I still got fucking schoolwork to do. And I'm here talking and chatting with y'all. Man, I appreciate y'all tuning in. I hope y'all got something out of it. I hope y'all learned something. Appreciate y'all being here, chatting with me, teaching me stuff. Hope we learned. I'm great for that. Grateful for that. And like I said, I do a stream. I do random streams like this, pop-up streams every now and then. But I always do my veterans workshops is always Sundays, 12 noon Central Time. That's when I always do my streams. If y'all want to tune in, y'all got questions, ask away, interact with other veterans, same thing. That's the best thing to do. And always be good to one another, look out for one another, love one another, and take care of one another, and stay marvelous. Just Cruise, y'all, signing out. I'll catch y'all with the next one. Peace. Gotta feed this damn cat, man. This motherfucker might claw me while I sleep. Gotta get this shit done, man. I'll holler at y'all, man. Peace. He said, yes. Make sure y'all do that. 988 in case of crisis, veteran crisis line, and press 1 if you need assistance, and it'll take you to the veteran line also. Yeah, have a good one, y'all.